this. Oh. Have I killed it? Does it live? We're good. Okay, and I'm assuming my voice is working as well. I'm hoping. Should be some voice coming through in a minute here. If there isn't, that something has gone horribly wrong. We're good. Okay. Would you mind doing me one more favor and just testing to make sure that chat has continued to exist on the stream? Because I've added layers, and sometimes that gets very confused. Oh, wait. It does! Yes, like an ogre. I have added layers like an ogre. And actually, just to help me test one more thing. Can you unfollow and then refollow me? Yes. Forget that guy, he's terrible. Okay, try it again. Okay, hold. Hold a minute. Oh my god, look at that. There's actual animations and stuff. There's like sparkles coming out of there. Vaguely professional. At some point I'm going to pay you and have you design me actual animations that aren't just generic sparkle.gif. Yeah, yeah, they're gonna have to track down software and just send me an invoice. That's fine. Just send me an invoice. Alright. We're back. Sorry, doing some setup here. Some setup and testing. I've become slightly more professional. We've leveled up at least one rank. We are back on Dantooine. We made it here last time. We finished up everything that was going on Terrace. The planet blew up. Echo! Hello, Echo! Welcome back. We made it back to Dantooine from Terrace. We were here after the Terrace got pretty blown up. Fairly well destroyed. And we flew away with Bastila to Dantooine, to the Jedi Enclave, to catch up with the Jedi Council on Dantooine. We literally just landed, and Bastila and Karth have run off to go meet up with the Council. I'm assuming we just left, like, Belbar and Mission on the ship. I think they're on the ship. We'll just assume we left them on the ship. I don't think you see them anywhere here if you're not, like, bringing them with you on a party. Let's go look around a little bit, though. I'm not in a huge rush to go meet up with the council, so who all do we have around here? Kratis Yurkal. Greetings, my young friend. I assume you're not a member of the Orders. You're not wearing the traditional garb of the Jedi. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Kratis Yurkal, proprietor of the general store here on Dantooine. Not much to look at now, I'll admit, but I'm in on the ground floor. I mean, look at this planet. Majestic fields, rolling plains, wide open terra firma, elbow room. That's what people want. Any guess who'll be waiting for them? Not that blasted Zerka Corp, that's for sure. Not this time. No, sir. It'll be Kratis Yurkal who makes the big bucks. But listen to me. You didn't come here to listen to my ramblings on the evils of the Zerka Corps, I'll bet. What can I do for you? I guess, yeah, we'll just check out what he's got in his shop. Excellent as always, my selection is somewhat limited. Zerka Corps is a monopoly on some of the suppliers. You just told me how evil they were. But I'm sure you'll find my inventory is of the highest quality, and I've got a few special items you won't find anywhere else. Oh, okay, cool. Let's see what he's got then. We've got med packs, standard stuff, armor. Actually, some pretty reasonable prices on this armor too. 100 bucks for a 5.4. That's not bad at all. 8.1. Okay, that's really durable, although it's severely limiting how much of a dexterity bonus you're going to get. For 400, it's not terrible. Light battle armor, 7.2, and not terrible. Sana-Siki's, blade. What the hell is this? Oh, it's upgradable. That's actually potentially very good. So a 3 to 12 with a +3 damage bonus versus droid. A decent crit range. It's balanced. It gets an automatic +2 attack modifier, and it's upgradable. That's potentially very good. It is 7,000 credits. So probably not something to buy without, thinking about it a little bit. But worth remembering that there is a really good melee weapon here. Sadasiki used this blade to kill Nelenik, a Zabrak who assassinated the Achani High Protector with battle droids. Cortosis protects the blade against lightsaber sparring damage, while energy cells disrupt droid opponents. Okay. We've also got some other named stuff here. Jurgen Kalta's assault rifle. Decent anti-droid damage bonus, 1 to 6 ion. Pretty average energy bonus. So this is just going to be the same thing you get from like a heavy blaster, and you don't get, there's no perks to enhance blaster rifles, but there's a ton of perks to enhance blaster pistols. So this isn't going to do well overall. Attack modifier +3 is nice. You do get a nice built-in attack modifier to help you. Upgradable is nice. Jurgen Kalta wanted to make a big noise in the galaxy. If it was the screams of his enemies, all the better. This weapon was his favorite because it shared his adaptability. Fair enough. Stealth field reinforcement. This is, I'm assuming, yeah, it looks like headgear from the looks of it. Stealth +8. So yeah, if you want to go for a really high stealth character, this is definitely worth picking up. 2,400 is actually a pretty reasonable price for that too. If you're going for a melee stealth or even a ranged stealth build where you're going to be doing a lot of spending a lot of time with your stealth field active, stealth +8 is probably the best thing you're going to get in your head slot. Interface band, damage resist sonic, some decent skills upgrades, 6 overall and a split between computer demolitions and security. Not bad. That's definitely worthwhile. Breath mask, immunity poison, if you're going up against a lot of poison, worth looking at. Awareness 2, computer use and security +4, and dex +1. That's quite good. Dex 1 is very, very useful. Put that on somebody like Mission or Karth, and you're really going to be putting out a lot of damage. Computer use and security, definitely worthwhile. 7,000 credits. It's expensive, but endgame, this might be worth remembering it's here. Arcanian Energy Shield, it's a better energy shield. CNS Strength Enhancer, Strength +2 and all saves +2. That's extremely good. That is on a belt. So 8,500, remember it. 3,000 for a computer use demo, repair, and security belt. Throw that on Mission or Zalbar, and that's going to be quite useful. Calrissian's utility belt. Galdurin Calrissian's name was something of a liability after he became infamous for running an unsanctioned smuggling ring within Hutt space. Eventually cornered, he had to pawn even his personal items to avoid being the last Calrissian. The user must have paid points into the demolitions and security skills to gain, or the user must have, okay, this isn't flavor text anymore. They're explaining, in order to get the demolitions and security skills bonus, you need to have points in demolitions and security. Which, yeah, that's pretty standard. Retinal combat implant, immune to critical hits. Not bad at all. And awareness +1. Generally, going to be useful. Might actually be better than what we have on Zalbar at the moment, but you need to have points into your implants before that's even a factor. Kozak ±3. I will definitely buy one of those. I think we have all we need of the +or-1s. Kozak ±5. I will take that as well. Help out our Pazak deck just a little bit. For now, I don't think there's anything else I'm particularly interested in. What else we got around here?
I'm sorry, human. I am unable to render assistance at this time.
Alright. Greet you, human. I'm Karl Carr, owner of the Outpost of Aerotech Droids. My protocol droids are not programmed to interact with customers, so should you desire assistance, I can aid you. see what you have in stock, sure. Explore my inventory at your convenience. Settler families have purchased all my droids, but I have many upgrades and other wares for purchase. So droid stuff. If we start using like T3 more, we'll come back here and take a look and compare how this is doing. Right now I haven't really looked at T3's like overall gear well enough to understand which ones of these might be useful. I'm assuming like the droid plating 3 is gonna be useful. But right now I'm not really using any of that. Security interface protocol, that's good. All the rest of that's pretty good. Ugh.
I am unable to render assistance at this time.
We'll take a look around here. Talk to anybody that has a name. That's always a good idea. Like this guy here, Lur Arca Sulas. What do you have? Greetings, Sentient. May I take a moment of your time for a question? Go ahead. I represent a human citizen of Dantooine by the name of Rundil of Sulem. Rundil Ot Sulem. His ranch has had considerable difficulty with Mandalorian raiders for many years. His young daughter was kidnapped by these raiders many years ago and has not been returned. Might you have news of her? Her name is Sasha. No, I don't. It's too bad. I still have to continue my search. Problems with Mandalorians common on Dantooine. Yeah, that's worth looking into. So we've heard about the Mandalorian Wars here. Referenced. I'm trying to remember when the first time the Mandalorian Wars or Mandalorian culture in general was like established in Star Wars. It was definitely before this game. I feel like it was mentioned in one of the original films, but I honestly don't remember. The only thing I remember in the original films, the one throwaway line about the Clone Wars, but yeah, Mandalorian Wars we've heard mentioned once, which was what Revan and Malak were fighting in shortly before they turned to the dark side and attacked the Republic. So what's up with the Mandalorians? I understand they are, although I know little of the history behind this conflict. Some native of this planet could tell you more. Fair enough. And yeah, why aren't the local authorities handling this? Dantooine has little in the way of local authorities sentient. I asked the Jedi of the Enclave to intervene, but they have far more pressing concerns to attend to. As is often the way on this planet, if a citizen wishes to accomplish something, they must seek to do it themselves. Also, it's very strange to me that this guy is addressing me as sentient. Like, he's a Twi'lek. There's every bit as sentient as I am. I don't know why he's making that distinction. That seems very odd. Anything of interest on Dantooine you can tell me about? Yeah. No large urban center on Dantooine if that's what interests you. I find the variety and number of natural habitats to be most intriguing, however. If you get the chance, I would urge you to explore the planet's ranges in more detail. They're quite beautiful. Alright, that seems fine, and I'll keep my eyes open. If I see a missing girl named Sasha, we'll make sure we get her back home. Appreciate that, Sentient. Alright, fair enough. I'm mildly worried about this guy's self-esteem, but it's fine. We've got Disra down here. Welcome to the Jedi Enclave on Dantooine. I don't believe we know each other. My name is Disra Lurjada. You may call me Disra. I've not heard of any new apprentices being accepted for training recently. What brings you to this place, if I may ask? I came here with Bastila. Yes, of course, I should have known. I've only heard a little of how she escaped the destruction of Terrace. Tell me, did she save you from that planet as well? She didn't save me. We worked together to escape Terrace, or get your story straight. No, we'll go with the slightly more neutral option. See, well, I meant no offense, of course. In any case, it's good to have her back on Dantooine again. We were afraid Malak had captured her. I hope you enjoy your time here on Dantooine. May the Force be with you. Alright. Cool.
Good day to you. I'm afraid I cannot speak to you at the moment.
Alright.
Apologize.
What else we got in here? Belaya.
You there, Padawan. Why are you not wearing the customary robes of the Jedi? Do you mock the honor traditions of our order?
I believe you're mistaken. I'm not a Padawan. I came here with Bastila.
Bastila? I have heard of her. They say she has already mastered the art of battle meditation. Remarkable in one so young. Though I've heard she has a foolish pride in her own talents. But as for you, you claim you are not a Padawan? I find this hard to believe. The Force is strong within you. I can feel its presence. If this is some type of jest, it is in very poor taste. The Jedi Order is not a subject for jokes.
I'm not jesting. I'm not a Padawan.
Please forgive the abruptness with which I first greeted you. It was harsh and perhaps unfair. My master often warns me that I must learn to control my emotions. I see I have much left to learn. I wish you a pleasant stay here on Dantooine. May the Force be with you.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's take a look around here a little bit. This appears to be the door outside. Hello.
The Council has decreed you must not leave the Enclave.
Right, that's
Please
fine.
return.
So we need to go meet up with Karth and Bastila, who should be down that hall to the left. But let's see if we can look at anything else right now before we start heading in there. Anybody we can talk to up here? Zola. He has the look of a seasoned Pazak player. I dabble in it from time to time myself, care for a game. Oh god, I've wandered into a card player. This guy plays Magic the Gathering, it's the worst. Yeah, do you have any cards to sell? Yeah, let's take a look at what he has. I will buy a ±2, and 2 ±4s, and 1 ±5. I like it. Care to have a hand? Yeah, let's play. Oh, we're up to 120 credits. Hold up. Cancel. Not right now. Save. I want to test something, so we're getting to a point now that I could actually start replacing the majority of my deck with the plus or minus variants, which makes your deck quite strong. Like having just a 1 to 5, 2 of each mix, all plus or minus, that's going to do you pretty good. So let's see how this goes. The only card I haven't been able to switch out so far is this single plus or minus, or +2 here. You know what? Screw it. We'll replace that with an extra plus or minus 1. So everything in my deck right now is reversible. Let's see how that holds up. So we'll let him play for a bit. Got 2 ±4s, a 1 and a 5. 13, I will sit. He's sitting on 18. We could tie. Yeah, I think tying is going to be the smart move here. This is definitely giving me more options to play around with, which is a good thing. You gonna bust? And the best I think I can do probably here. You know what? Take one more, I win. Alright, I was like, I could always flip it around, go negative if I need to. Looking good. He's dealt a 20, I can force a 20 to tie it. Let's just keep it going. Now that I have all plus or minus like reversible cards, I will stand on an 18, force him to play it out. Good, I win. Let's see how he's doing. We're at a 10 to his 14. He stands on a 19. Okay, I lose if I stand, so we try one more. I can tie a 19, or do I just let him have this round? I think I just let him have this round. Screw it. He can take one, and I get to keep my card. See if it's slightly more advantageous this round. I'll stand. He gets dealt a 20. God damn it. Stands on a 19. Through it. I guess we're standing. That sucks. I hate this game so much. Pazak is such a crap card game. Like, if the computer didn't cheat as bad as it did, Like, I don't think I've won a single game, and I've played like 12, 13 of them so far. It would be enjoyable, but with how badly the computer cheats, it just completely wrecks the fun of it. I don't think it cheats as bad in 2. They have the same game in there in 2, and from what I remember, it's not as awful. Alan Matale. You're going to be important. I remember that last name.
Why are you bothering me? I'm here to speak with the council, not some servant. Please leave, or I shall be forced to tell the council of your rude behavior.
Hey, calm down, buddy. We're all right. We'll be back to see ya. I think that's everything we can do here for now. 120 credits isn't bad money. If you wanted to get some money early on to try to, buy some of that ridiculous gear from the shop, you could absolutely sit there and, save and reload until you win a bunch of times against the Kozlak player there, and you'll eventually get a bunch of money, which would be useful. Hey, Karth.
They're waiting for you inside.
Okay, he has nothing to say. Fair enough. A big place up in here.
Ah, so you
Hello.
are the one who rescued Bastila. It is appropriate you are here. We have been discussing your rather special case. I am Jar, a member of the Jedi Council. With me are Master Vrook, Master Vandar, and of course the chronicler of our academy, Master Dorak. Padawan Bastila, I am sure you are already familiar with.
Yes, I am. So what? Actually, let's start with this. Isn't the Jedi Council on Coruscant? Because this came out after Episode 1, possibly after Episode 2, or right around the same time as Episode 2. Actually, that's, to be fair, I know for sure it was right around the same time as Episode 2, because part of the backstory on this is that when Lucasfilm, or LucasArts Entertainment, offered BioWare a chance to make this game, they gave them two options. They were either able to make a tie-in game to Attack of the Clones, which would have had to follow the plot of the movie, or they could make a unique game set in whatever setting they want that didn't have to tie into anything, but the restriction on that is it had to be set, 4,000 years before the films. That was a LucasArts stipulation. They didn't want to worry about messing around with their own, timeline and canon, and they were starting to think about, were we going to start referencing, Jedi and Sith history in the prequel films? We don't want to mess that up and have it conflict with what's going on in these video games. So we'll just make sure that if you make a video game set in the past, it's set so far in the past that it can't possibly screw around with our own writing. BioWare was like, well, we'd rather have some freedom in our writing, so they chose to do the 4,000 years in the past option, which is part of the reason that technology seems to have not progressed at all in 4,000 years, because BioWare was basically just like, we just want this to look like Star Wars. The 4,000 years thing is a LucasArts stipulation in order for us to write this setting. That's why you're seeing a lot of the ships and technology and readouts and everything seem to have not aged much in 4,000 years. But yeah, came out right around that time. And yeah, we know in the movies, Jedi Council's Coruscant, but what's the deal here?
Yes, the High Council of the Jedi Order is on Coruscant, but we are the council in charge of the training facility here on Dantooine.
Oh, so you're the local council. That's significantly less impressive, I have to say. Anyways, what do you want from me?
Bastila tells us you are strong in the Force. We are considering you for Jedi training.
Okay. What do you mean by strong in the Force?
Master Jar speaks out of turn, perhaps. We need indisputable proof of your strong affinity to the Force before we would even consider accepting you for training.
Proof? Surely the entire council can feel the strength of the Force within this man, and I've already related to you the events that took place on Terrace.
Perhaps it was simple luck.
We both know there is no luck. There is only the Force. We all feel the power in Bastila's companion, though it is wild and untamed. Now that this power has begun to manifest itself, can we safely ignore it?
The Jedi training is long and difficult, even when working with a young and open mind. Teaching a child is hard. How much harder will it be for an adult to learn the ways of the Jedi?
Okay, you can either choose that I'm willing to try my best, My age has nothing to do with it, or lie, I'm willing to try my best. So yeah, if you're going for a dark side run, this is your kind of chance to maintain your dark side canon, even though you kind of have to agree to go along with this. You can choose to say that you're lying when you agree to go along with this. I don't think you can, like, fail that. I don't think they can, like, rat you out here, but yeah. Yeah, I'll try my best, yeah.
Traditionally, the Jedi do not accept adults for training, though there are rare exceptions in the history of our order. But you are a special case.
I agree with Master Dorak. Many of our own pupils are leaving the Jedi Order to follow the Sith teachings. We need recruits to stand against Malak. With Revan dead...
Are you certain Revan is truly dead? What if we undertake to train this one and the Dark Lord should return?
We should discuss this matter more fully in private. Bastila, you and your companion must go. This is a matter for the Council alone.
As you wish, Master Vandar. We shall return to the Ebon Hawk and leave you to your deliberations.
Alright. Conversation worth keeping in mind for later. Hello? Oh, I'm having a nightmare, I see. Man, Revan really leaned into the costume early on in this.
I can feel its power.
You think?
Is this wise? The ancient Jedi sealed this archway.
You think he was dressing like this, like all the way back from the beginning?
We can never go back. The Order will surely banish us. Are the secrets of the Star Forge so valuable? Can its power truly be worth the risk?
Alright. So we're having nightmares about Revan and Malak.
Stranger by the minute. First Bastila comes out looking like she saw a ghost, and now you. Well, Bastila did mention that you should go to the council chambers before she left. It's no doubt urgent, so you shouldn't keep them waiting.
Alright, yeah, did she say anything else?
No, she didn't. She didn't seem well, as I recall, and for that matter, neither do you. Are you alright?
Yeah, I've had a bit of a rough night, but we're good.
You got it.
Alright, so I can bring some people with me now. Who do we want to bring with to the Jedi Council? Let's try Carth and a melee person. Bring Zalbar. Bring one gun user, one melee person. Actually, maybe I want to do mission. Screw it. Carth, I'm sorry, you're getting thrown in the bin. We're gonna go with mission. Bye, Carth. Mission, come along. You're just slightly more interesting. So, yeah, we got some levels on people to go through here. Nothing too out of the ordinary now. We've kind of seen how most of our characters are going to be leveling up. Like, right down the line there. We'll go ahead and slap... I guess computer use is probably more useful to her than treat injury, so start moving that up. Repair eventually will be useful too. Sneak attack 4, quite handy. And Zalbar, you are going to be my... It was computer use and repair that I wanted, right? I think it was computer use and repair. I don't know why the rest of these are all so high. Whatever. We're going to say it's computer use and repair and assume that I'm right. For now... Zalbar. He's going melee, right? We need to get 2-weapon fighting moving in the right direction, because he's not dueling. I really only have the 1 feat at the moment. Interesting. I've made very poor choices on leveling you up so far. Yeah, we'll get 2-weapon fighting moving up to make sure Zalbar is actually able to, you know, hit anything ever. Give him an energy shield, which would be quite useful. I don't know how he doesn't have that yet. Davik's visor? That seems like it's probably very good. 3 and 2 versus improved feat Power Blast. That's actually not that good. Yeah, we're not going to worry about that. Power Blast is useful, but not that useful. It appears that I must have... Oh, I think I moved the guns over to T3, didn't I? We'll just give her a heavy blaster for now. That's fine. Actually, screw it. We can pick the guns up off of T3 real quick. T3, come over here. I believe I gave you the guns, right? Yeah, you've got the good stuff. Alright, get that off of there. And switch back over to Mission. And we can give her one of the good pistols, because she's using, what? Dueling, right? So just one pistol in one hand, I think. Right? Where do I see that? Feats? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, she's going down the dueling tree. So we'll go ahead and stick... Actually, Power Blast wouldn't be terrible for her if she's going down dueling. Best one-handed weapon. Is it Karth's or is it Bendak's Blaster? It's Karth's. Or is it Bendak's? Attack modifier +2. Attack modifier. Okay, so Bendak's is just way better. Alright, Bendak's Blaster. Good deal. We're all... Mission seems rather distant. Maybe I should talk to her. Sure, okay.
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was thinking about Terrace. I still can't believe it's gone. I mean, I grew up there and now it's just gone.
Oh, yeah. Your homeworld just got like blown up, didn't it? Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say.
I don't really think there's anything you can say. I just have to find some way to deal with it, I guess. It'll take some time. Look, I'm not saying I can't go on or anything like that. It's a shock, you know? I mean, I knew the Sith were evil and all, but the reality of it kind of slaps you in the face. But I suppose that's why we need to stop Malak, right? The more time I spend dwelling on Terrace, the more chance some other planet will get wiped out. I guess that's what it comes down to. So don't worry about me. I'll be okay. And if you need my help against Malak or the Sith, I'll be there for you.
Alright. We're on our way. Yeah. You know what? Mission and Zalbar seems like a good team. They're best friends anyway, so we'll bring them along for now. It gives me some good coverage, it gives me a little bit of range in Mission, although Karth is technically a better ranged fighter. But he doesn't have as many skills. Mission has better skills. That's fine. Actually, you know what? I'm horribly indecisive here. I've changed my mind again. Give me your blaster back. Where's the robot? Better skills, and I think we can dual wield more efficiently with him, which means, yeah. Bendak's, Karth's. T3 is going to be better in a fight.
Sure.
I think. Hopefully. It's fine. We'll live.
Bastila has told us of a most unusual development. She claims you and she have shared a dream. A vision of Malak and Revan in the ancient ruins here on Dantooine.
These ruins have long been known to us, but we believe them to be merely burial mounds. Perhaps they're more than we first suspected, if Revan and Malak found something there.
Did seem to be searching for something. How would Bastila know if we shared a dream? That's actually, yeah, a good point. I haven't talked to her yet. How would she know that we had the same dream?
She says she has felt your presence within the dream. The presence she has felt within you ever since...
Master Vandar.
Ever since Taurus.
Oh?
It is not unknown for this to happen between two people strong in the Force. Bastila has described this shared dream to the Council in great detail. We feel it is more than a dream. It is a vision. The Force is acting through you, as it acts through Bastila.
Alright. I'm having visions now. Fair. Okay, that's a little confusing.
You and Bastila share a powerful connection to the Force, and each other. This is not unheard of. Connections often form between master and student, but rarely does a bond develop so quickly.
Whatever dangers may lie ahead, we cannot ignore the destiny that has brought you and Bastila here to us. Together.
Alright. And yeah, are you saying I'm like joined with her somehow?
You and she are linked, as is your fate to hers. Together, you two may be able to stop Darth Malak and the Sith.
But do not let your head be filled with visions of glory and power. Such thoughts are the path to the dark side. The way of the light is long and difficult, as you must learn. Are you ready for such hardship?
Yeah, I guess I'm ready.
Understand that there is little choice in this matter, for you or us. Across the galaxy, the numbers of our order dwindle. We have sent many Jedi in quest of a way to thwart Malak's advance. Many have not returned. The Sith hunt the Jedi down like animals, ambushing and assassinating our brothers wherever they are found. We fear it is only a matter of time until they discover even this hidden refuge.
Other Jedi have fallen from the light and embraced the dark side, giving their allegiance to the Sith and Malak, their Dark Lord.
Okay, so the Jedi are leaving. Got it. Yeah, why? What's going on?
The lure of the dark side is not easy to resist. Malak's power grows as more and more planets fall to his conquering armies.
If Malak is not stopped, the Republic will fall, and the Jedi will be hunted to extinction. The galaxy will enter a time of darkness and tyranny, not seen for 1,000 generations.
The Council has decreed that you and Bastila must investigate the ancient ruins you dreamed of, once the Council deems you ready.
Perhaps there you will find some clue, some explanation of how Revan and Malak were corrupted. And perhaps there you shall find a way to stop them.
Alright, so you're sending me off to investigate some ruins to try to find out what initially led Revan and Malak astray. Alright. Sure.
The Force flows through you like no student we have ever seen. But you're willful and headstrong, a dangerous combination.
Before we send you to investigate the ruins, you must be trained in the ways of the Jedi, so that you can resist the darkness within yourself, within all of us. Otherwise, you are doomed to fail.
So, before you're going to send me off to this cave, you're going to train me in the ways of the Jedi. So this is like the old school Jedi, like what you see in the prequel films. And that took like years. Like we see that they're bringing kids in as like small children and then raising them up through adulthood, and they're going to give me like the crash course. Am I getting like the Yoda version of this? Alright, that's yeah, we don't have time for this. No, we'll be patient. Be patient. Mind your senses. As you wish, Master Vandar.
We must begin your training at once. You have a destiny upon you that you must be prepared to face. The entire fate of the galaxy is upon you.
I can only hope you will prove up to the task.
The path you have chosen to walk is difficult. Intensive training will prepare you physically for the demands of the Order. Meditation will teach you to channel the power of the Force.
Alright.
To truly understand the way of the Jedi, you must open your mind to knowledge. Seek wisdom in the teachings of the great masters of our Order. A Jedi is never alone. Others in the Order will always stand by you. You and Bastila share a special bond. Do not be afraid to turn to her when you need help in your training. The way of the Jedi is difficult. It requires great discipline. Yet even though you are a mere
we're getting more advanced here.
Your potential is unlimited, and your progress amazing. In all my years, I have never seen one who has mastered the initial training so quickly. You've done in weeks what many cannot do in years.
Okay, so this did take weeks.
I am honored to welcome you fully into the Jedi Order.
I like that.
Soon your apprenticeship will end, and you will be granted the title of Padawan, the lowest rank of those within the Jedi Order. Yet first you must prove yourself worthy.
I like that they didn't just give it like a, oh, this was a few hours later and you're suddenly a Jedi Master. That's nice. I like that they're giving you the, like, oh, apprenticeship will end will be granted to us. So we're not even a Padawan yet. We're just an apprentice. Okay, I'm liking this. They're pacing this well. I've played this a long time ago, but I definitely don't remember a lot of the, like, nuances or detail. When I first played this, it was just kind of like a dive in and you know, have fun. And since then, I kind of skip a lot of the dialogue on replays because you're just kind of burning through the story. Yeah, this is written and paced better than I remember. Yeah, what do I do to prove myself? I want to ask some questions. Yeah, questions about Revan and Malak. What have we got?
Few mention those names around here anymore, but I suppose it is just as dangerous to deny they were ever part of the Order. When I was still on Coruscant, Revan and Malak often came to me for additional training. In particular, Revan's hunger to learn seemed insatiable. I should have recognized this as a warning sign, but I perceived the young Padawan's lust for knowledge as simple exuberance and eagerness. Revan was my most promising pupil, one I felt sure would someday become a champion of the Jedi Order.
Alright, yeah, what happened with him?
The Jedi Order moved too slowly for Revan and Malak. We were too cautious in their eyes. They always sought to learn far quicker than their masters felt was prudent. It is one thing to understand a lesson, but to truly comprehend it takes a wisdom that only comes with time. Several years ago, when the Mandalorian threat first arose, Revan and Malak were eager to journey to the Outer Rim to defeat the enemy of the Republic. But the Council felt it best if we moved with care and caution. The true threat, the Council feared, had not yet revealed itself. But Revan would not be dissuaded. Charismatic and powerful, it was inevitable many of the Order would flock to Revan's seemingly noble cause.
Gotcha,
Malak was
alright.
the first to join his closest friend. Others soon followed, many of our youngest and brightest, intent on saving the galaxy from the Mandalorian threat.
So yeah, what happened to this mission?
They were foolish to disregard the Council's wishes. I do not know what happened to Revan, Malak, and their followers on the farthest reaches of the Outer Rim, but something corrupted them. Their ideals became twisted, their spirits were tainted, and they fell to the dark side. There is a lesson in this, a lesson you would do well to take to heart. The dark side can corrupt even the most noble of Jedi.
Okay, so somewhere in the Outer Rim, while they were fighting in the war, they fell to the dark side. Alright. I'll heed the lesson well.
You have learned much, yet there is much more for you to still understand. The way of the Jedi must be entered into with a clear and focused mind. When you feel that you are ready to continue your training, know that you can find me here.
Alright. Wait, when I'm ready to continue my training, what else can I do? We just wander around right now and talk to people? Oh, okay. Hello.
If you have questions, you should direct them toward the Jedi Council members.
What if I have questions about you? Alright. Dorak, what's up?
Greetings, young apprentice. Have you come seeking knowledge of the past? Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it, or so they say. As a chronicler of the Academy here on Dantooine, I feel it is my duty to share the history of our order with the newly initiated. Unfortunately, our recent history is one of tragedy and bloodshed. The Mandalorian Wars, the fall of Revan and Malak, the rise of the Sith. There are important lessons to be learned from these events, if we do not wish to repeat the mistakes of our past.
Yeah, okay, let's get some history lessons here. What have you got? Eager to learn.
Of course, I could not tell you the entire history of our order. The Jedi have existed for thousands upon thousands of years. We are as old as the Republic itself. Instead, I will begin 40 years ago with the War of Exar Kun.
Okay, 40 years back is Exar Kun.
Was a Jedi who fell to the dark side and led an army against the Jedi and the Republic. Exar Kun was defeated, but the war left both the Republic and our own order severely weakened. For 20 years we struggled to rebuild, trying to erase the scars of the terrible conflict.
Okay, so 40 years ago, Exar Kun led a rebellion, was defeated. 20 years went by after that while they were rebuilding, with apparently, I'm assuming, not much happening other than them rebuilding. Yeah, what does this have to do with Revan and Malak? I didn't ask about Revan and Malak specifically, so I don't know why it would have to do something with them, but... Let's go with, yeah, what about the Mandalorian Wars? Because that seemed... Revan and Malak left because of the Mandalorian Wars, so that would be the next event.
20 years ago, the Mandalorians, aware that the Republic was in a weakened state, began conquering small worlds on the Outer Rim. They were careful to choose only planets outside the Republic's jurisdiction. After much debate, the Senate chose not to intervene. As long as the Mandalorians avoided planets that were members of the Republic itself, there would be no retaliation.
Gotcha, so the Republic just stayed out of it because the Mandalorians were attacking, like, worlds outside of the Republic's direct control, which meant the Mandalorians were just able to roll around and build up strength in a bunch of small systems, and then, yep, eventually pose a threat. Yeah, we ended up in a war anyway.
The Mandalorians stockpiled resources from their conquered worlds, preparing for a massive assault. 7 years ago, they launched a simultaneous attack in 3 separate sectors of Republic space. The Senate had no choice but to retaliate with the entire Republic fleet. The Mandalorian Wars had begun.
Okay, so it was Exar Kun War, 20 years of rebuilding. Mandalorians start attacking outlying systems. Republic ignores it. 3 years later, the Mandalorians had conquered enough that they had enough of a fleet built up that they were able to attack. Alright, so they attack, the Republic counters, Mandalorian Wars begin, and we know the Jedi didn't join in, so what about Malak and Revan?
The Republic petitioned the Jedi Council for aid, but there were many factors to consider before we allowed ourselves to be drawn into another conflict, so soon after the war with Exar Kun. While the Jedi Council preached patience, there were many among our order who were eager for us to join the battle. 2 young knights in particular demanded immediate action, Revan and Malak. They rallied many of the Jedi to their cause, and against the wishes of their masters, joined the Republic fleet battling the Mandalorians. Revan was a brilliant military leader, and the Republic fleet began to win victory after victory. 4 years ago, the Mandalorians surrendered unconditionally.
Got it, so Revan managed to fight them to a surrender. Yeah, so where did the Sith come from then?
Revan and Malak were heroes, the great saviors of the Republic. A third of the Republic fleet was under their direct command. And then something happened. Instead of returning after the war's end, the ships under Revan's command went deep into unexplored space. They claimed to be searching for the last remnants of the Mandalorian fleet. All contact was lost. For many months, it was assumed some great disaster had befallen the entire fleet. Everyone thought they were dead. There were unsubstantiated rumors of Revan and Malak being seen on a number of different planets during these months. Scattered sightings that were never confirmed.
So, we heard from the other Jedi Master back here. I'm never going to remember all these guys' names. Yeah, going to forget that every time I look away from them. This guy's, I think, Dorak, but I don't remember the guy we were talking to in there. He mentioned that they fell to the dark side when they went to the Outer Rim. So that would have been after the Mandalorian Wars then, in that case, because it's just mentioned here they didn't leave for the Outer Rim until after the Mandalorian Wars. So, yeah, what happened while they were gone?
Perhaps they simply went far beyond the edges of Republic space. Maybe they found previously undiscovered hyperspace routes to the ends of the galaxy. Nobody knows for certain. 3 years ago, Revan and Malak returned at the head of a massive invasion fleet. Revan had assumed the title of Sith Lord. The hero had become a conqueror.
So, 3 years ago they returned. So, we were looking at 4 years of the Mandalorian War, towards the end of which Revan and Malak leave. Maybe 3 years, 2 to 3 years of Mandalorian Wars, then they leave, they go disappear for almost a year probably-ish. Show back up 3 years ago. They're at the head of a large fleet. So 3 years ago they returned. Yeah, how did he get so many followers?
Initially, the bulk of the Sith force were former Republic soldiers who had served under Revan. With each conquest, thousands more flocked to join the invaders, swelling their numbers. Even many of our own order have betrayed us, lured by Sith promises of riches and power. But what is more disturbing is the size of the Sith fleet itself. Some of the ships in the Sith fleet are those that were under Revan's command during the Mandalorian Wars, but many more are of an alien design we've never seen before. The source of this massive fleet is one of the many things about the Sith we cannot explain. It seems impossible to have created it in such a short time, yet we cannot deny its existence.
Got it. Okay, so unusual number of ships. They've encountered some kind of alien. Assuming we haven't seen any sign of this alien, like there's no aliens fighting alongside them that we don't recognize, or they would have just put 2 and 2 together, I would think. At least I'm hoping they're smart enough to do that. So yeah, what happened next?
For 2 years, the Sith were all but invincible. Fortunately, Bastila and her battle meditation allowed the Republic to win a few key victories and kept the Sith from total triumph. In desperation, we set a trap for the Dark Lord. Bastila was with the strike team that tried to capture Revan, as you probably know. She was there at Revan's end. That was nearly a year ago, but things have not improved. Malak has stepped in and assumed the mantle of Dark Lord for himself, though he's far from Revan's equal in strategy or tactics. Still, his fleet continues to grow in both ships and soldiers. If we do not find some way to stop the Sith soon, Malak will overwhelm us with sheer numbers.
Got it. Okay, so Bastila leads an attack, Revan dies, Malak takes over the fleet. That's all about a year ago. So, since in the last year we've just been dealing with Malak's forces, I'm assuming, right? And yeah, they're just worried about, like, losing a battle of attrition because of how many ships they have. Okay, what can I learn from this? Yeah, what's your takeaway, I guess?
Revan's tale shows us how even the greatest of Jedi can fall to the dark side. You must always be on guard against the evil that dwells within you. Think hard upon this lesson.
Okay, always be on guard against the evil dwells within you. Okay, fair enough. Archives, yeah, do you have archives here, or is it just all, like, kept in you?
This facility is a training academy. The archives here are restricted to those who have attained the rank of Master. We must protect over-eager Padawans from being exposed to dangerous knowledge.
Oh dear.
The pursuit of knowledge is a noble goal, but there are some things that require the wisdom of a Master to truly understand. You should ponder the history of Revan. It contains many lessons you may need if we hope to defeat Malak and the Sith.
That's a bit manipulative. I don't like that. History books should be public access and make sure that people can, learn from mistakes and learn from the past. That's concerning. Well, I'll be going then. I don't want to say don't worry, I'll find a way to stop the Sith. That's a little overeager and headstrong.
May the Force be with you.
Alright. Dorak, Vandar, Rook, and what the heck is this guy's name over here? Is it Jar? Yes. Alright. Vandar, what do you got for me?
Good evening, apprentice. I trust your training goes well?
Yes, it's progressing quite well.
I have faith that you will achieve the rank of Padawan soon. Master Jar is most impressed with your progress. May the Force be with you, apprentice.
Oh, not much to say here. Okay, Vrook, you seemed a little more cold. Standoffish.
I see you insist on wandering the halls of our enclave when you should be busy studying your lessons.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you some questions.
I suppose such desires are inevitable, though I fear you may seek knowledge for which you are not prepared. Yet I will do my best to guide your quest.
Alright, what info can you give me on Bastila?
Bastila, the young Jedi
Bastila, apparently, not Bastila.
And great danger. She can do much for both the Republic and the Council. Without her skill in battle meditation, the Sith Armada would have conquered the galaxy long ago. But despite her command of the Force, Bastila is still young. She is a Jedi, but she has not attained the rank of Master. The Council would do well to remember this before we lay the fate of the galaxy on her slender shoulders. You would do well to focus more closely on your lesson.
That seems kind of condescending.
The Force is strong with you, but you need training and guidance in the ways of the Jedi, lest you suffer a fate similar to that of Revan.
I don't know if it's just the fact that he's mispronouncing her name or the fact that he's so, like, dismissive of her, but, like, he just comes off as really condescending. I'm actually curious if the, like, him being the only one to pronounce it Bastila is intentional, if they're trying to, like, show that he doesn't care about pronouncing people's names correctly because he just dismisses them that quickly.
I see you insist on wandering
Or if there was
the
just
halls
bad
of our
voice acting
enclave
direction for this
when you should be
guy.
busy.
Yeah, let's ask some questions. We had some other stuff we could ask him about there. Something you can tell me about Revan and Malak, yeah.
Revan was once a promising Padawan, but ever eager to learn more about the Force. Revan sought knowledge of ancient Sith magics, foolishly ignoring the dangerous lure of the dark side. When the Mandalorian invasion came, Revan seized the opportunity it presented. Many Jedi flocked to the Outer Rim to follow the charismatic young knight, and many fell under the sway of the dark side.
Yeah, what happened out there?
I do not believe Revan and Malak were corrupted on the Outer Rim. They had begun their journey down the dark path long before the Mandalorian threat appeared. Here on Dantooine, they discovered a sinister cave, a place where the strength of the dark side overwhelms the light. Perhaps this discovery was what first corrupted them. Or perhaps they sought the cave out because they were already corrupted. Whatever the explanation, the Order was unable to turn them back to the light. Had the Council taken more decisive action in this matter, perhaps Revan and Malak could have been stopped. But in this we failed. You would do well to focus more closely on your lessons. The Force is strong with you, but you need training and guidance in the ways of the Jedi, lest you suffer a fate similar to that of Revan.
So, they don't know for sure what happened to them, but they think it started while they were still here. Alright, fair. And yeah, you do seem a bit annoyed. What have I done to irritate you?
If you find me overly critical, perhaps it is because you do not fully understand what is at stake. For 15,000 years, the Republic has brought peace and stability to the galaxy.
15,000 years?
The Republic may be destroyed because we, the Jedi, have failed them. Revan and Malak were paragons of the ideals the Order seeks to uphold.
Hello.
Yet they
I'm waving. You can't see it, but I am waving.
When Revan fell, Malak took up the mantle of Dark Lord of the Sith. Should Malak be stopped, what is to stop another Jedi from taking his place? This is the burden we Masters must carry. Only through strict training and relentless lessons can we prevent the Dark Master from being reborn. That is why the Order can brook no failure in our apprentices and pupils. That is why I can accept nothing but perfection from you. You would do well to focus more closely on your lessons. The Force is strong with you, but you need training and guidance in the ways of the Jedi, lest you suffer a fate similar to that of Revan.
Okay, fair enough. And thank you, Zan. I've got part of it, I think, working. I do still have some questions on how to, like, set up custom animations and sounds and stuff. Also, if you don't want to type out the full, like, channel name, just Alex is fine. I don't mind using my name here. But yeah, I definitely could still use some more assistance on some of this. The chat's working, yes. I've had that working for a while. It should be floating somewhere in this general vicinity. Sometimes it, like, gets buried behind the game, though, because if I have to, like, remove the screen capture element in order to do a game capture instead, it will, like, prioritize it on in front of the chat. So then you end up with the chat buried behind the capture, which is a bit annoying. Streamlabs. And unfortunately, Streamlabs does not, at least as far as I can see, have a way to move sources, like, forward or backward on the layers, so I just have to, like, remove and re-add it, and that'll fix it usually. It's a bit silly. Maybe I'm just missing something. One of these days we'll set up a time when I can, yeah. we'll set up a time one of these days when I can go into Streamlabs on like screen share with you in Discord, and we can figure all some of these setting stuff out. All right, so we've caught up history. We know what's going on with the overall history of all these Mandalorian wars. Revan. We got our first mention of Exar Kun. Exar Kun is one of my like favorite Star Wars characters. He was really cool. I remember back in like the early '90s when I was growing up and first started watching the Star Wars films. He was one of the early like attempts at explaining like the first origins of the Sith. He was introduced in a comic, I believe, or a short story in like 1995, and was a Jedi that fell to the dark side and murdered a member of the Council on Coruscant, and then led a rebellion. And he is credited at the time, I believe, as the first Jedi to use a double-bladed lightsaber, like what you see from Darth Maul. Hello, Mochi! Also, when I logged in today, I see a Mochi who has followed notification from 1 day ago, which I think was... I don't even think I was streaming that day, so I don't know if you were watching a VOD and followed, or if you followed right at the end of a stream last time and I missed it, but either way, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. But yeah, Exar Kun was credited as the first Jedi to come up with a double-bladed lightsaber back in the day, and when... Phantom Menace came out, and the trailer dropped, and you see Darth Maul with a double-bladed lightsaber in the first trailer, before we knew anything about Maul or any of this, what we were going to be getting out of this. We just saw, oh my god, we're getting a Star Wars movie, which was amazing. Thank you, Mochi. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming back. When my friends and I saw that trailer back in like 96 or 97, whenever the heck that first trailer came out, we all thought that was Exar Kun. When they showed the double-bladed lightsaber, we were all like, oh my god, they're gonna have Exar Kun in this! And then it wasn't at all. Because I think at the time when they did the story of Exar Kun, they hadn't established like a timeline or a date for it, so we didn't know it was supposed to be like 4,000 years ago. But yeah, apparently this is set like 40 years later. Pretty recent history. Exar Kun would have only died like around the time my character was born. Yeah, Revan's story is fantastic. Oh, I'm not worried about a missing apostrophe. To be fair, if you want a video game that tells you the story of Revan, or a movie that tells you the story of Revan, this is it. Don't want to give away too many spoilers for the end of the game, but you're looking at the story of Revan.
Greetings, my young pupil. Your progress has been most remarkable so far. Are you here to continue your training in the ways of the Jedi?
Yeah, ready to continue my training. Sounds good.
Soon your apprenticeship will end, and you will be granted the title of Padawan, the lowest rank of those within the Jedi Order. Yet first you must prove yourself worthy in the traditions and customs of our order, as handed down from master to pupil for 1,000 generations. You must successfully complete 3 tests before you earn your place among the Jedi.
Beer, and then I have a question for you. You got it. I will keep my eyes on the chat. I have BR beard already. I VR beard when I got off of work at 10 tonight, so we're good. Now I'm sticking to Diet Coke. Yes, I'm ready for the tests.
These tests will see if you have truly mastered the training you have been given, both mental and physical. Upon completing these tests, you will pass from apprentice to Padawan, and join in the ranks of the Jedi. First, I will test your knowledge of the Jedi Code. These tenets must always guide your actions. In everything you do, you must always be conscious of their wisdom. You must prove you have a Jedi's understanding of the Code. Return when you feel you are ready for this challenge.
Gotcha. Okay, so we need to prove that we understand the Jedi Code. And this is, again, if I'm not mistaken, created specifically for this. I think the one we're about to see here is based on like loosely based on Yoda's the training with Luke, but we'll get into it a little bit more here. Accessing information database. Welcome, sentient. It's important for the peace and harmony of all beings that the many paths of the Jedi Order be understood. Only through knowledge can all see the truth of the Force. Jedi Guardians train for battle and physical prowess. In contrast, Consulars seek to master the awesome power of the Force. Sentinels seek to find a balance between these two extremes. So basically, this is when you're looking at your Jedi Advanced class. Guardians are your combat class. They're mainly focused on lightsaber use. They don't get as many Force powers, but they do get some bonuses to using lightsabers and physical combat. Consulars are... You're a mage. You're a wizard, Harry. If you just want Force powers, you go Consular. They get all kinds of fancy stuff. And Sentinel is just a nice balance of the two. Statistical comparison. Okay, I don't need any of that. Are we good to go here?
Greetings, my young pupil.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Soon you're we
did this. I'm ready for the tests.
These tests will see if you have truly mastered the trait.
Yeah.
First, you must now prove there is no emotion.
Oh, apparently I was supposed to find a computer that had a log about this somewhere and I missed it. That already put it in my inventory. There is no emotion. Oh god, I have to remember this off the top of my head. I didn't even read this. Okay, yes. So this is the Jedi Code, which has gone on to be used in a whole pile of Star Wars media since this, but it was first written for Knights of the Old Republic. At this point, it's just kind of like codified into Star Wars canon as this is just the Jedi Code, and there's a matching Sith code that goes along with it, that again has just kind of been accepted as like Star Wars canon, and you see it in all kinds of different media across the franchise. And it was first come up with here because they needed to come up with some guidelines and tenets, and they were trying to really flesh out the Jedi Order and the Sith Order, because at the time this was written, there wasn't a lot of work done, because we'd only had, a lot of the like Star Wars expanded universe in the early 90s was set after the original films, so there wasn't a Jedi Order. There was a handful of books and stuff set earlier than that, but they didn't really know what the Jedi Order was supposed to be. React video, it's a SWTOR Fashion Police. Funny two girls roasting the outfits of some random players in SWTOR. Oh god. SWTOR outfits are not my forte. They're probably roasting me in that video for all I know. I do play SWTOR occasionally. And hi Morgana, nice to see you. I'll have to look at it at some point. That's quite funny. I didn't know there was a SWTOR Fashion Police channel. I will check that out. I think the pinnacle of my fashion is I made like a nice Imperial officer outfit at one point. But yeah, anyways, Jedi Code. When they were, 90s media, whatever, you had all the like basically set after the movies and a few little background things. When Episode 1 came out and you finally got a like canon look at this is what the Jedi Council is supposed to be. They are a group of people that sit in a room on Coruscant and train students in a very kind of secluded order. They're used by the Republic as peacekeepers and mediators in very specific situations, but they're this kind of reclusive monk-like order. That was really the first time we'd gotten a like solid look at what the Jedi Council was supposed to be like. And at this point, like the Jedi are just so well understood because of the prequel films and Clone Wars and all of this other stuff that's not terribly surprising news. But at the time when Phantom Menace came out, there wasn't a lot to go on. And so when they started working on this game and they were like, well, we want to have a big, CRPG where you're going to be training as a Jedi, we have to come up with our own background and lore and canon and training materials for this Jedi Order to use. So they came up with this little Jedi code here, which I did not read. I think he gave me a data pad that has this on it, and I didn't read it. So now I have to try to see if I can remember this off the top of my head. There is no emotion. I think it is peace.
There is no ignorance.
Ignorance is knowledge.
There is no passion.
Passion would be serenity.
There is no chaos.
There is no chaos. There's harmony.
There is no death.
There is... I mean, there is death. I regret to inform you of this, sir. There is the Force?
You have learned your studies well, apprentice.
Oh,
It will
I
not
got
be
that
long
right.
before
Holy
you are a
crap.
full member of our order. But first, you must pass the second test and learn about the most prized possession of a Jedi. The very symbol of our order, the lightsaber. The lightsaber is the traditional weapon of our order. It is a symbol of a Jedi's skill, dedication, and authority. And each lightsaber is as individual as the Jedi who wields it. The blade is made of pure energy, focused by polished crystals in the hilt. As the second test, each Jedi must construct his lightsaber with his own hands. And now it is your time. Speak with Master Dorak, and he will guide you through the choosing of a crystal.
Alright, sounds good. And Morgana, as far as watching that video, I will probably... I'll look into it in my free time, and then I will probably do it either when I'm doing KOTOR 2 or when I'm playing Old Republic, because I'm planning on playing Old Republic online as well. Part of the reason I don't want to do it now is that alt-tabbing in Knights of the Old Republic 1 can cause the game to crash. And that's, yeah, so I try to avoid alt-tabbing out of the game as much as possible, because it's not exactly the most stable thing in the universe. Alright, training computer. We want to be a Guardian. I'm just going for all melee all the time. Guardians, base class, 10 vitality a level, 4 force points a level. We get slower skill progression, but faster feat progression. This is basically the same thing as playing as a soldier, except you're a Jedi. You also gain the force jump feat automatically. This allows you to instantly close distance and attack an opponent within 10 meters. We'll show that off once we get it. Does it... Okay, hold up. If we go over to... Actually, one sec. I want to see something. What's the benefit to playing Sentinel? Because Consular, your bonus is you get all the extra force powers. What the hell is the benefit to Sentinel? You're 8 and 6, average skill slow feats. Jedi immunity feat. This makes them immune to fear. That's really their benefit? Is just immune to fear? I mean, I suppose that's helpful, but man, you could just put like a implant on or something to get an immunity to fear. That's really not that great. I guess it's the increased skill progression is probably the big one. If you want to go for having more skill points, like if you're going to make your character the rogue of the party, that would make sense. 6, 8, and slow. Force focus makes it harder for opponents to resist their force powers. Yeah, so that's quite good if you're planning to go for an all-power build. I suppose Sentinel then, yeah, it does make sense because they're the only ones that don't get a lowered skill progression. Who the hell do you want me to talk to? Sorry, Master, I wasn't paying attention. Dorak!
Ah, you have come, young apprentice, at Master Zar's bidding. He sees great promise in you, as do I. The time has come for you to choose the color of your lightsaber. This color also reflects your demeanor and position within the Order.
Demeanor and position within the Order. Yeah, what colors are there? Let's start with that.
Blue is the color of the Jedi Guardian.
Gotcha, blue.
This Jedi battles against the forces of evil and the dark side. They focus more on combat training and use of the lightsaber. Yellow is the color of the Jedi Sentinel. This Jedi ferrets out deceit and injustice, bringing it to light. They focus less on combat and more on other skills and abilities.
Okay, so I guess
Green
Rey is a
the color
Sentinel.
Of the Jedi Consular. This Jedi seeks to bring balance to the universe.
And Luke is a Consular.
They mediate between other groups, using their powers to end conflict and preserve peace.
Alright, yeah, I want to be a Guardian.
Indeed. We shall see. I will now ask you questions, and your responses will indicate which class you lean most towards. A woman and her small child are beset by a desperate-looking group of thugs. They're menacing her with weapons, and she screams to you for help. What do?
I attack the thugs.
Indeed. Very well. On to the next question. You are in combat with a dark Jedi allied with the Sith. There is a pause in the combat. What do you do?
Kick him in the teeth. Yeah, attack him again, or find out why he turned to the dark side and try to turn him. This is the Luke answer right here. If this does not make you a consular with a green lightsaber, I am shocked, because this is the Lucest of Luke answers. Attack him again.
Yes, I suspected as much. Now for the next question. There is a locked door, and your goal lies on the other side. What do you do?
Locked door and a goal lies on the other side. What do I do? Okay, again, Luke answer is knock. Luke Skywalker stands at the door and knocks and just waits politely for someone to open it. I'm smashing the door down.
I am beginning to see a pattern here, apprentice. I have a feeling about what you would be best at. But first, the final question. You are the head of an enclave on a contested world. The Dark Jedi have infiltrated and are causing unrest across the planet. What do you do?
Coordinate with the planetary government to identify the infiltrators, try to lure them out into a trap, or hunt them down. Yeah, we're gonna go Conrad Kurz and just go hunting. Alright, let's get him.
Yes, I thought as much. As I suspected, you would be most suitable as a Jedi Guardian. Which color and path do you believe yourself most suited to?
I believe I'm a Guardian. Blue, Path of the Guardian.
Here is a blue crystal for your lightsaber. Go speak to Master Jar again, and he will instruct you in how to construct it.
Very good. Oh my gosh, we've gained levels. Look at all this. We're level 9 now, a Jedi Guardian. Skills, we don't get many, but I do get 2, so I will put an extra point into Persuade. That's quite nice. Feats, we got Lightsaber Proficiency, Jedi Defense, Force Jump, Jedi Sense, and Force Sensitive. Let's take a look at a couple of those new ones and see what they're all about. Force Jump. Yep. Short version is, if you use a feat or special attack, negates this ability. So if you're using, like, power attack or something like that, it doesn't work. So just regular old attack for your opening, and what you will do is immediately jump into melee combat with anything that is up to 10 meters away, and if you target something that is farther than 10 meters away with a melee attack, your character will just start running towards them until you get to 10 meters away, and then they will jump in. You have to have a clear line of sight, which can get a little clunky with this game's pathing. Sometimes it says you don't have a clear line of sight when you clearly do. Sometimes it says you have a clear line of sight and you go flying through a cliff wall. It's entirely up to how the game feels that day. This works anytime you initiate your first attack against an opponent. So jumping from one opponent to another, absolutely possible. And what else do we have here? We got Jedi Sense. This is +2 to defense. Quite good. Force Sensitive. 40 additional force points to the character's base total, which is basically just the main how you have force points in the first place. Did we get anything else particularly useful? Jedi Defense. This is the blaster reflection thing. We can eventually get up to a +6 bonus to that. There's different items too. Right now, we are maxed out there. We're going to go ahead and max out Flurry, because that's going to be quite useful. And then next up, we're going to want to go down maxing out Lightsabers, getting an additional attack bonus and an additional +2 damage bonus. And then Toughness, so feats that I still need to take. I have 1, 2, 3. We're going to want 4, 5. 5 more feats, and I've got pretty much everything I need to be as effective in melee combat as I am ever going to be. Everything beyond that is just for show. This will also, I guess, help because we don't automatically gain these ones, so we'll say 6, 7 more feats, and I am about as effective as we're ever going to get. Everything beyond that, I am just putting in for fun, for funsies. Do I get a power this level? I do. Fancy. I get 2 powers this level. Why do I get 2 powers this level? Do I always get 2 powers this level? I don't think Guardians are supposed to get 2 powers this level, but alright. Maybe I gained 2 levels. That's actually entirely possible. Well, I want Cure. Charisma modifier and Wisdom modifier. My Charisma and Wisdom aren't great, but having Cure is useful. We're going to start out putting points into speed, although I don't have the ability to use it right now because I'm wearing armor. To start out with, we're going to keep the armor, because the speed wouldn't offset it. Once we get a little higher up and I can start getting some more points into some defensive bonuses and things like that, the armor isn't going to be as useful. We can switch over to a robe and start using, like, once we have master speed at level 15, we're going to start wanting to look at wearing a robe. 2 additional attacks per round, real good, extra 4 defense. We'll have a couple other things we can do to help offset our defense a little bit so we're not getting penalized as badly. Yeah, that'll be quite worth it. For right now, though, just start building up towards that. And we'll keep the defense, or the armor for now. T3, apparently you've leveled up as well. What do you got going on, buddy? How about some extra constitution so that you're better at shooting people with guns? And you can have all of that. And you can keep the last point, I guess. Zalbar, you've got a level. Attribute, very good. I don't know why he's got 13 dex. I don't think I would want to put a point in dex. Wouldn't really make a lot of sense for him. I think he'd be much better off with points in strength. That's where we're going to go. This is a little silly. I don't like leaving things on an odd number, but I don't know why he's at 13 there. That's a little weird. Computer use and repair are his 2 biggies that we want to make sure we're moving up. Get that moving up again. Computer use and repair. He's going to be our tech specialist. Good to go. Implant level 3, looking very nice. I don't think I have any higher level implants he can use just yet. Oh, wait, don't take it off. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes?
Can I go and assemble a lightsaber right now? Do I have to, like... No, okay. I think that's KOTOR 2 where you get to do it at the table.
Ah, good. Now that you have selected your crystal, we shall begin the construction of your lightsaber.
Oh, we're just going to do it at the table in a cutscene. Alright, fair. Fiddle around for a minute, and... we've crafted ourselves a lightsaber. We can also eventually get some power crystals you can add into it to modify it a little bit, and color crystals to modify the color. Right now, we don't have any of them, so we are getting a standard blue lightsaber, 2 to 16 damage, 19 to 20. Looking good. Also, as much as I like this, is this a balanced weapon? It's not. That's odd. Stick with that. I want something in my offhand, because otherwise we're in trouble. I think the prototype Vibroblade is probably the best bet, just to give me additional damage. Yeah, damn. Much better. Had to cater to my child. I'll assume this means the cat, and you haven't adopted.
You have done extremely well in constructing your lightsaber, apprentice. Your crystal seems to have been set perfectly. It is rare indeed for that to happen the first time one constructs their lightsaber. These crystals are very rare, found only in certain caves strong in the Force. By adding crystals to your lightsaber, you can alter or enhance its properties. There have even been unconfirmed rumors of certain Force-sensitive caves here on Dantooine that may hold these crystals.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want any kids around either. They're, I'm sure they're lovely for other people. I'm good. I hope the cats are well. And SOTOR, yeah, SOTOR is very fun. I actually didn't play it on release because I was still being an MMO snob back then. I first played it 2013 or so, when I kind of got back into Warcraft on my second try of that. And they've changed it a lot since release. It is almost an unrecognizable game at this point from what it was at release. It's quite good. I'm subscribed, and I have been for years just because I forget to cancel it. I don't know how much of a pay-to-win game it is, like endgame. I never got to like super endgame rating and anything like that. But it's one of the best like story-driven MMOs I've ever played. It's super, super fun. Very customizable, very, very fun flavor. It's definitely the best like licensed property MMO that I've seen, like by far. What have we got here? I can find crystals in Dantooine? Yes, I'm shocked. Yeah, should I know anything else? Let's ask about Dantooine. Maybe he'll tell us where they are.
It is a rumor only. I do not know if there's any truth in it, but you must learn first to use your lightsaber and take care when drawing it. Your lightsaber identifies you as a member of the Jedi Order. With such recognition comes honor and respect, and the attentions of dangerous enemies. The Sith and Dark Jedi will seek to destroy you, apprentice. And you must prove yourself worthy in battle against a foe who also wields a lightsaber. Are you ready to face the final challenge, apprentice?
Also, Zan, do you remember what class you played in SWTOR? I think there's, what, like 2 different Jedi classes. I think there's Counselor and Guardian. And then 2 different, there's, what, Sith Warrior and Sith Sorcerer? Inquisitor? Something? There's Evil Wizard Sith and Darth Vader Sith. And then you've got the Trooper and Smuggler on the light side, and then the Agent and Bounty Hunter on the dark side, I believe. Sith Juggernaut, yeah, single target tank. Bounty Hunter Power Tech, awesome. I love that there was like the unique storyline for each of them. That was one of the things that really, really drew me in, is that like each character class had their own full unique story. It felt very similar to how World of Warcraft handled Legion with the like class order hall. I'm actually, if I ever do SWTOR, I'm gonna have to think long and hard about what class I want to play, because I think technically Jedi Knight is like the most canon thing. Like I think that the default Jedi Knight storyline is like the most relevant to the main plot. A lot of the other ones are like interesting, like here's a side story that's happening alongside the main plot, and I think Jedi Knight kind of is the main plot. I think my favorite story is Imperial Agent. Imperial Agent is just absolutely amazing, and it's so customizable depending on whether you go like light side or dark side. There are like 9 different end states for Imperial Agents. Super, super fun. Plus, if you play them as like a super sneaky, smart, conniving bastard, it's really fun to roleplay them as like that's my Thrawn. I have a Thrawn character on there, and he's an Imperial agent wearing the like white Imperial officer's uniform. Nar Shaddaa Corellia, yeah, super fun. You actually get to see Nar Shaddaa in KOTOR 2. KOTOR 2 is, I think, the first appearance of that. Alright, let's go. Third trial. Bring out the sabers.
For every Jedi, the threat of the dark side is always present. You must truly understand this before you are accepted into the Order. You must see the corruption of the dark side for yourself. Even here on Dantooine, there are places where the dark side holds sway, twisting and tainting nature itself. The ancient grove once used for deep meditation by the Jedi is now tainted.
I like the spelling correction emote. That's very good.
The Kathhounds in the area have become savage and ruthless. They have become a threat to the settlers. a threat the Jedi have promised to stop.
I'm gonna have to start looking into how to do emotes and stuff very soon, because I think this stream should push me over into affiliate, which is pretty sweet. At which point I should probably start looking into actually setting up, you know, actual professional stream stuff. I've gotten stream alerts that at least visually do something for like raids and follows and stuff like that, but I haven't set up sounds, and I certainly don't have custom emotes or anything like that planned out yet. And I think that's the point when I can start doing all of that. Kathhounds, okay, what do you want me to do?
The Kathhounds are but a symptom of the true problem. You must journey into the grove and confront the true source of the darkness. That is your task.
Alright, so we're looking to find out what is corrupting the Kathhounds. And yeah, you do seem to know more than you're letting on.
I can say no more. Some things you must see for yourself. None of the other Jedi at the Academy are permitted to help you in this task. But remember this, my young apprentice. A Jedi acts with patience and care, and those on the dark path are not always lost forever. The dark side still taints the ancient grove. Your lessons cannot continue until the spreading corruption of the dark side has been stopped. This is your task, apprentice. May the Force be with you.
Alright, looking good. And yeah, I'll let you know, Zan. I could definitely probably use some help, because I certainly don't know a darn thing about computer graphics or animation or graphic design or anything of that nature. I am wildly incompetent. I'm assuming when he says that no other Jedi are allowed to help me, by the way, I'm assuming that means that Bastila is still not selectable. So we're going to take our Wookiee and our droid and go bash in some skulls and save all of the Kathhounds. Alright, on to Dantooine. It is locked. Droid, release me.
The Council has decreed you may come
thank
and
you.
go as you please.
Alright, we made it. We're here on Dantooine. We've got giant flying manta rays. These things are amazing. I wish I knew what they were called. They're so cool. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday next week before 10 p.m. Ooh, that would be perfect. I'm actually off Monday and Tuesday. So that would be really, really perfect. I'll hit you in the DMs. We'll keep in touch. What do we got here? Settlers.
Master Quattro was hurt very badly. She might die. I heard it was her own apprentice that did it.
Master Quattro was hurt? Oh no.
Those damn Mandalorians have been raiding farms all over this continent. The Jedi won't do anything, so where does that leave us?
Alright, what do we got? Nemo? We found him.
It is good sometimes to stop and reflect on the beauty of nature and the Force. I am sorry. I tend to get carried away. I do not believe we have met, apprentice. My name is Nemo. Is there something I can help you with?
This guy sounds very, like, detached. He sounds a lot like, what are they called in Dragon Age? The mage guys that get their, like, emotions severed. Oh god, I'm blanking on their names. Tranquil. Sounds like a Tranquil. I've been given a task, yeah.
Indeed. What is it you would like from me?
You know anything of the Tainted Grove?
The Council has told you nothing of the Grove?
Not much. I know it's tainted by the dark side.
Do not be so quick to judge circumstances about which you are ignorant. Not everything may be as transparent as you would believe. The Grove can be found to the south and east in the plains, but be wary of Kathhounds. They may be agitated by the power in the Grove. Is there something else I can help you with?
Sildenai, hello, welcome. I have a question about Dantooine. Yeah, let's see what he has to say about the planet.
Very well. What is it you wish to know?
Oh, Zan, much better response. Well done. I don't really need any stores. Yeah, are there any caves with lightsaber crystals?
Ah, yes, those caves.
Those caves are dangerous for the unwary.
I've even been
Kinreth
watching the
spiders
Obi-Wan
infest
show.
the
I should
places.
have noticed
They
that.
are attracted by the colors and heat given off by the crystals, I think. It is a pity. Those caves are strong with the Force. Is there something else I can help you with?
Cough Cough Hack is definitely like at least 50% of General Grievous's voice lines. It's fine, Zan. You've got it. You nailed it. And yeah, I don't want to leave spoilers for the Obi-Wan show yet. I'm loving it though. If you have access to it and you haven't started watching it yet, it's been real fun. Maybe not with like young kids. Surprisingly violent. What have we got here? Yeah, what can you tell us about yourself, Nemo?
About me? I am truly flattered. What is it you wish to know?
Oh, I am definitely not going to spoil episode 3. Oh man, I have a pun that I want to make, but I don't want to risk spoiling anything. Oh man, when you've seen episode 3, Zan, let me know because I have a pun. I have a mighty pun, but it would potentially spoil something. Okay. What do we want to know about Nemo here? Who is he?
As I have said, I believe, my name is Nemo. I am here by the will of the Jedi Council.
Yeah, are you a Jedi?
Indeed, my young friend, that I am. I have served the Council for many years, and have seen many apprentices pass through this enclave.
Gotcha, Fridays and Saturdays. They keep releasing the episodes early, too, which isn't helping, because they originally said it was going to be Thursdays, and then they released the first episode on a Wednesday, and the first 2 episodes on a Wednesday, and then the second episode on a Tuesday? So, whatever. Oh, it's good. I'm sure I'll hear. Are you a member of the council? Yeah.
I think perhaps you place an undue importance on rank and hierarchy. Understandable, but regrettable also. We each serve in our place, high or low. Is there something else I can help you with?
Okay, so he's not in the council, but he also seems to think that the council isn't the end-all be-all of being a Jedi Master, which is good. That's a healthy attitude to have. You shouldn't be focused too much on whether or not you're the leader of this group. You have an important role to play no matter where you are.
I hope your time is well spent here on Dantooine.
That's sound advice in life. Don't get too caught up in rank.
Greetings, friend. I think I can safely assume you are a member of the Jedi Order. Has the Council agreed to hear our petition?
Oh, that's right. I wanted to look this up the last time I played this. I am almost positive that this guy is voiced by the same actor that played Neelix on Star Trek Voyager. I think his name is Ian Phillips? Give me 1 second here to look up the KOTOR IMDb on my phone. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Does the council agreed to hear our petition? I'm sorry, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a member of the council. I'm just an apprentice. Oh yeah, I'm merely an apprentice, not a Jedi. We'll go with that, because he is asking if I'm a member of the Jedi Order.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was mistaken. Does the council require our presence?
Yeah, I don't know, my friend. I'm really sorry.
Oh, I see. I am mistaken. How may I be of assistance?
Where's the cast here? Top cast. Yeah, what can you tell me about Dantooine?
Well, as you can see, Dantooine is mostly plains and grassland, but it has a nice hearty soil. A lot of new people have come in the last generation or so. Well, the ones you'll most likely hear about are the Sandrils and the Matalis. Big, wealthy landowners, both of them. But Alan Matali and Nurik Sandril just can't seem to get along. And now Alan wants to get the council to do something.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, what's happened?
Well, from what I hear, it started about a week ago. See, Nurik's son, Cassis, is an archaeologist. Bright lad, too, but he disappeared. Nurik, of course, blamed Alan, but even he didn't take it before the council. But now, Alan's son, Shen, has disappeared as well. And no one knows where he's gone. Alan blames Nurik. He thinks he's kidnapped his son. I don't know exactly what he wants to ask the council, but from what I know of Alan, he's probably going to be after blood. Is there anything else you require?
Is there anything else I require? Yeah, what about the Mandalorians?
Ever since the Republic beat them years ago, little groups have been roaming all over the place. With the Sith invasion, the Republic doesn't have the manpower to hunt them down. The Jedi are even worse off because Malak has been hunting them specifically. They're worried that he might even be supporting these raiders, so don't want to face them directly. That puts us in a kind of hard situation. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yeah, what about the Calf Hounds?
Recently, the Calf Hounds have been acting much more aggressively. They've even attacked some of the settlers. Those Mandalorian raiders have been milking the outlying farms dry, too. I hear John got hit really bad. Too bad about his daughter. I'm not sure exactly what the council will do about it, but we need some help with this.
Tatooine is literally just Kansas.
Is there anything else you require?
God. And yeah, I just looked it up. This is absolutely the guy that played Neelix, Ethan Phillips. So if you ever watched Star Trek Voyager, this is the cook. Rural Southern and military Southern. He's got the Southern part down. I love Ethan Phillips. Ethan Phillips is a phenomenal guy. He's super fun to watch on any like social media stuff. He's one of those guys. He kind of reminds me of Mark Hamill, where he just loves what he does. Like he absolutely loves being part of this and loves enjoying everything. He just absolutely is a total nerd and likes doing all this stuff for fun, which is really nice to see. Yeah, tell me about yourself.
My name is Gar. Me and my fine wife Rilke here
A pleasure.
live on one of the northern farms, but the Calf Hounds and the Mandalorian
Rilke's been
problems
listening to
has
this
been
guy talk
getting
all day.
really
I can
bad,
tell you right
and
now.
We're here to ask the Jedi Council to help.
Yeah, how many farms are there?
Well, as you can see, Dantooine is mostly plains and grassland, but it has a nice hearty soil. A lot of new people have come in the last generation or so. Well, the ones you'll most likely hear about are the Sandrils and the Matalis. Big, wealthy landowners, both of them. But Alan Matali and Nurik Sandril
Oh, she
just
looks
can't
pissed.
seem to get along. And now Alan wants to get the council to do something.
Okay, well, I think we've heard everything there is to hear here. Yeah, she
Farewell,
definitely
then.
sounds
May the Force
like someone who has been stuck out here listening to his wife talk, or her husband talk all day. Like, this has been a long day, and this is not the first time he's done this. Alright. Mandalorian raiders harassing the settlers. Yeah, sounds good. We'll have to go look into that, too. Oh, we found John!
Are you a Jedi? How long can you people continue to sit by and claim you protect us? Protectors? Ha! You sit in your enclave safe from the Mandalorians while we suffer.
Well, yeah, what's up, man?
Those Mandalorian brutes have killed my daughter. They came to our land demanding our livelihood. But Ilsa, my Ilsa, said no.
Oh no. Oh no, yeah, this is what I was thinking. Jedi in this age have the same kind of problems the Jedi in the prequels had, where they tend to just kind of sit in their little high tower and ignore what's going on outside their walls. Yeah, they killed her?
There was nothing I could do. Too many of the Mandalorians and their Duros allies. I've come here to ask you, please, Master Jedi, stop these raiders and get revenge for my daughter.
Well, I'm not a Jedi yet, but I can at least say that I can try to help protect him. I'm not gonna ask him for money. Revenge is never a good reason. No, I can protect him. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna hunt them down. I'm not gonna go with those animals. I'll kill them for what they did to your daughter. That's a little excessive. Your problems are not my concern, though. I will protect you and your fellow settlers. That seems like the most light side option here.
I will give you all I have. Just please, annihilate them from the face of this planet.
Okay, that's a little excessive, John. I think you need to sit down for a minute, maybe catch yourself a nice relaxing nap, listen to some peaceful, tranquil water sounds, have a beer, something, man. Maybe not a beer. Maybe, I don't know what you're like when you're drinking, man, but just find some peace. Who else? Let's see who else's problems we can solve today.
You know those stones to the east of here? I heard they did some digging and found they aren't natural.
If you are seeking information, perhaps the Jedi Council will help. I'm afraid I cannot.
Hey, I didn't say I was good at helping people. I just said I was trying here. Hey. Oh, hi Zelbar. I was actually trying to talk to this Duros. Don't mind me. Ah, yes, you are a Jedi. I'm grateful your people harbor me in my times of need. Ooh, he's being harbored. What happened? I'm a victim, a refugee, yes. I fled from my world once the Sith fleet come. They bomb my world, destroy it, yes. Scour the continents, boil the oceans. Sith are bad, yes. But I run here, find the Jedi already here, unknown. They take me in. Oh, Republic fights, but does not win. Not you to blame, of course, no. The Sith are strong and destroy those who would oppose them, yes. The thanks you have in your order, is there anything else you require? Well, no, I don't think he needs to give anything back. He's fine. Jedi have always more to attend to. Good day, friend Jedi. That's fine, yeah. I don't think I need to try to talk this guy into just kindly ask them to leave. Oh no. Oh, it's kindly ask them to leave the bar. Sorry, I just read up a little farther there. Yeah, no beer. If someone like that came into my bar, no. That's a fair point. This is why I'm not the bartender, Zan. I thought, sorry, Moshi, I thought you were saying I should just kindly ask the Mandalorians to leave. I was like, I'm gonna go with the Luke Skywalker approach of just, there's still good in you. Oh my god. That would have been... I suppose I could try that. I could just walk up to the Mandalorians and ask them if they could politely get the hell off the planet. Alright, Elise.
Greetings, young Jedi. I wonder if you could assist me. I seem to have lost my... companion, you see?
An odd hesitation on companion. Alright, what have you got?
We were working on my farm to the north of here. I was working in the garden outside, and he was working inside. I heard the door to the house open, but not close. I went to see and found it wide open. I searched everywhere and could not find him. I worry so much. I need him back so badly. I wonder if he... could he have been kidnapped?
Okay. They've kidnapped her companion. Yeah, could it have been Kathhounds?
Kathhounds are not intelligent enough to open doors. Although they have been more vicious lately. No. It must have been someone who could open the door by himself. Come to think of it, the door was locked.
Got it. So was it broken down? No, you would have mentioned if it was broken down, you'd know that it wasn't. Okay. Could someone have bypassed the lock? Yeah, let's try that.
No. The door was undamaged and showed no signs of tampering.
I mean, I can pick locks, lady, in real life, and let me tell you, you would not know if someone picked the lock. Could it have been opened from the inside?
Well, yes it could have, but he had no reason to run away. His programming...
Wait, programming? Your companion is a droid.
Well, yes, he is a droid, but he is very valuable to me all the same. He's the last piece of my poor passed-away husband that I have left.
Oh God.
He's very dear to me, my precious is.
My precious?
What I do without him.
T3 needs an adult. Yes, T3, I understand that you're concerned about him too. T3, I'm concerned about you. I don't think I want to leave you alone with this lady.
He's the only companionship I have on all of Dantooine.
Alright, alright. You live alone with this droid. What exactly did you use him for again?
He is a personal assistance droid. My husband was a genius at constructing droids. He made this one capable of taking care of me for the rest of my life. As the last legacy of my husband, for my own personal ease of mind, I need him back. His absence gnaws at me like a gaping wound. Please, I beg of you, return my droid to me.
Oh Lord. Alright, alright. Well, I will look for your droid for you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Master Jedi. If you find him, please.
Hi, Zan. How's it going?
I need him so much.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Adam Larp. What do we got here? Not heavily armed, or at least not heavily armed enough. I'll introduce myself. Adam, simple merchant with a much noble purpose. Yeah, purpose. What's your purpose? Settlers and noble humans of Dantooine have been plagued by Kathhounds, raiders, and other fearsome troubles of late. Much to lose, much too sad to see these things happen to such people as this. I may have made this my mission to be. You're trying to sell me something, aren't you? Precious, my precious. Yeah. This is fine. I'm sure this droid is fine. We'll find him. Don't worry. We'll find him. I actually do remember where he is, so. Overcome their troubles, they must be able to defend themselves. Therefore, I shall offer the highest quality of weapons at the lowest of low prices for them. I am here offering you much in the way of weaponry at low prices. How can any sentient pass up such a bargain? They cannot. Weaponry it is, and weaponry I have. What is it you would like from me this fine day? I like this guy. He is the top tier of used car salesmen. Let's see what he's got. Yes, here's the best you can find anywhere on this world. Alright, we have a Cynagar war suit. 7 and 3, that's really good actually. And damage resistance 15 versus Sonic. After the Great Hyperspace War 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years before this, so 5,000 years before Knights of the Old Republic, or before the movies. 1,000 years before Knights of the Old Republic. The heirs of Empress Tita militarized their world and industry, a legacy that produced battle armor still sought after today. So a little bit of backstory, because I doubt we're going to see much of this fleshed out in this game, enough that you'll be able to understand it. This is another piece of interesting Star Wars canon that you don't see. Slaps the roof of Force suit. This baby will kill anything. Yeah. But yeah, another bit of fun little background lore. So we've seen a bit of history on the Mandalorian Wars. We've seen a little bit of history on Exar Kun and the Jedi Order, the creation of the Dark Jedi. Seeing kind of some backstory stuff set up for the history of the Republic in Star Wars. The Great Hyperspace War. Again, this is all legend stuff, by the way. Disney kind of threw this whole thing out the window, and I don't know what elements of this they've reintroduced so far. They have been lately, specifically Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have been like picking pieces of the old Star Wars canon out and putting them back into the modern stuff. But yeah, Great Hyperspace War is a big fun one. So there was a point when hyperspace was first discovered, before they'd come up with the idea of hyperspace, or they discovered hyperspace lanes, and they were actually like just freelance plotting hyperspace routes around. That led to a bunch of rival powers sort of slamming into each other because there weren't established hyperspace lanes, so they would just like jump somewhere and land in someone's door, and there was a massive war that broke out across the galaxy and ended up resulting in the creation of the hyperspace lane network and the like overall shape of the galaxy and the like shape of the major powers. So that's a big important piece of galactic history there. Cassus Fett's battle armor. Plus 10, but a max dex bonus of 0. So, this is important. Max dex bonus of 0 means that no matter how high your dex goes, you are never getting to add your dexterity dexterity score to your defense bonus. However, a defense bonus of 10 is insanely high. You'll notice here that this is a defense bonus of 7 and a max dex bonus of 3. So if I had a dex bonus of... I had a dexterity of 16, so I was getting a bonus of plus 3, I would be getting a 10, because I would be getting my dexterity bonus of 3 and the defense bonus of 7. If I have a dexterity of 10 or below, where I say 10, I guess, 10, 12, anything where I'm not hitting that 3, then I'm only getting, like 7 plus my dexterity bonus, so 7 plus 0 or 1 or 2, in which case this would actually be better. Even though it's not adding my dexterity score to it, it would give me a higher armor score. My character doesn't have a lot of dexterity, so it is entirely possible that like something like this could end up being very useful for me. Although, because I'm a Jedi and I'm planning on using Knight Speed later, I probably won't be using this because I'll eventually be switching over to Jedi robes. But for someone like, say, Karth, isn't a Jedi, or actually more likely Zalbar doesn't wear armor either, who would use this? Canderous. Canderous, because I'm going Canderous melee. Canderous would be a good one to do it. Yeah. Bronzium. Does it have anything useful? There should be some lore. Oh, also all these damage resistances. Very good. Upgradable. Armor of Cassus Fet, the most wanted man in known space, famous for the killing of the captain of the flagship Republic frigate at the Battle of Jaga's Cluster. He is presumed dead. Fet, Mandalorian last name. This is Mandalorian armor from the Mandalorian Wars. This would absolutely be something, yeah, for Canderous later. If you go Canderous into like a... Canderous is like no dex score, so this would absolutely benefit him. How small the HUD is upsets me. How can you even read that? Well, I mean, to be fair, on my screen, where I'm playing it on a large screen, pretty easily. I'm sure if you're watching this on like a phone or a smaller screen, it's probably not the most readable. That's why I'm trying to read as much of it out loud as I can. But when you're sitting here in person, it's fine. The reason it's as small as this, if you're wondering why there's so much empty space around the side of this, it's because this game was only ever formatted to display in 640 by 480 resolution, so 480i resolution. So you can run it in a it's supposed to be 4:3 aspect ratio, so you'd have big black bars on like either side of the screen over here. Oh god, my cursor just flew off the other screen. And it would normally be blown up to a much higher like pixely resolution. It looks very pixelated. This is modded to run in 1920 by 1080 so that it looks a little crisper, but that does result in, yeah, the UI is a bit smaller. When you're sitting there in person, it is much easier to see. Defense bonus 8, dex bonus 2. Okay, so there we go. We're getting into more of like, you can kind of tailor it to where's my dex bonus at, and I will get the appropriate level of defense to dex balance. So like if you're a dex 2, you'd want this one. If you're a dex 3, you'd want this one. If you're a dex 1 or 0, you'd want this one. And then, I mean, technically, really, this one's good if you're matching any of these. If you're exceeding any of them, I don't know. This one's pretty solid. ERB real quick. Modded armor is made of better materials than standard military issue. What else have we got here? Anything fancy? We got blaster pistols, light repeating blasters. Rifles aren't very useful. Grenades are occasionally useful. Mines are occasionally useful. A droid flamethrower. Nothing I need to worry about too much here. We're not going to buy anything just yet. Let's talk to him about the maps, though. I think he said he had, yeah. Sure, he's like a map too. I'm afraid I do not have all areas of maps, though. Oh. Can I get a map to the area south of here? 2 credits? Oh, please. Yeah, okay. Do you have any other maps? Yeah, done. Alright. Sweet. 4 credits for some maps? That's totally worth it. Any questions? Yeah, let's see what he has to say about the Mandalorians. Plague in the world, the plague must be cleansed with fire. Yeah, because he's trying to sell me guns. Fire generated from a sterling example of weapon craft, such as the fine blaster rifle here. Can't do better, you know. Alright. I'd like to look at something else. Anything about Kath hounds? Fearsome beasts, predators, a danger that the settlers of this world must constantly face and do battle with. What better way to battle than with this handy blaster pistol, created from the finest, sturdiest materials that can stop a Kath hound dead in its tracks at 50 paces. This guy is absolutely determined to sell me a gun. What do you know about the Corrupted Grove? Sorry, but I've not been in this world long. I'm not familiar with any specific locales in this area. There's something else. I'm surprised he didn't try to sell me something there. I'm actually kind of impressed. Alright. That's fine. Speaking of Kath hounds. Hello. There's our first Kath hound now. Oh, and there's several more. I think it's time to show off when I mentioned that we have this Jedi Leap ability that'll get us into combat a little quicker. Here's what that looks like. So yeah, you can just kind of close into melee range with anything in like a single hit. And now that we've got our first fancy lightsaber, we're going to be tearing through enemies. Let's take a look at the map. Okay, this did actually fill out the whole map for us here. So path south, Strange Ruins. Let's go take a look at the Strange Ruins. Ah, we have another type of animal here too. This one isn't a calf hound. What are you? Oh, you're a horn calf hound. I see. Oh, double miss. That's no good. Let's get some flurry going. Alright, we're taking a little bit of damage, but nothing too bad. Oh my god, that actually counted as a hit for some reason. I think Zalbar got in my way there. No, Zalbar, we don't need to kill everything in the field, please. Sorry, my Wookiee's gotten a little overexcited here. He's decided that all life on this planet must die. He is just convinced he's going to destroy the entire ecosystem of this planet. It's fine. He gets that red in his eyes, and you just can't stop him. No, we're back. We're exploring Dantooine. We've left the Enclave. We're kind of wandering around this field here a little bit. These here are the calf hounds. We've got some more calf hounds here. Let's go. Oh, we're getting surrounded a little bit. I think the rest of my team ought to be able to keep me safe, though. We're fine, right? Oh yeah, we're fine. To be fair, I don't know how much they're actually contributing to this. I feel like I'm doing most of the damage. Oh, I say that. Well, T3 hits. Yeah, okay, 4 damage. T3 hit for 0. That's me for 11, me for 13, me for 11. Calf Hounds hits a couple times. T3 for 6. Zalbar for 0. Zalbar for 0. T3 for 5. Me for 13. Okay, so I'm definitely doing more damage. I mean, I do have a lightsaber. I should be doing more damage. That makes sense. Alright, this way forward, right? Yeah. Also, taking a little bit of health damage down here, we can use our force powers. Go ahead and start healing that up a little bit. I don't have that much force power, so 2 casts and I'm pretty much depleted. But that's fine. Let's just wander around a little bit. We found some strange ruins. I think we heard them mention this. This is where Revan and Malak went. They wanted me to figure out this mystery before they sent me in here. Heavy stone door is sealed. The door is too thick to be cut with a lightsaber. But they wanted to test if they could trust me before they sent me off into this ruin. That's fine. We will head this way then, on into the southern parts of the field, to see what we can learn. We have a calf hound. Oh, where's he? Calf hound? Calf hound. Oh, Zalbar has decided that everyone must die. That's fine. My Wookiee is very aggressive. Oh god. Alright, we're fine. We'll just cut through these real quick. We see I got a little building off to the side here. Oh, he is, like, really determined to kill everything in this field. That's fine. I don't think they drop anything, so it's not like I need to be, like, sticking around to loot the corpses. Screw it, Zalbar. You want some XP? There's some more over here. You missed a couple, buddy. Let's go finish this off. Oh, did we have a map for this area? Apparently not. I thought I bought a map for 2 credits. What a ripoff. I want my money back. Darth Karen is gonna go demand a refund. Is there anything back here? It almost looks like it goes somewhere, but it doesn't. Okay, this looks like another exit farther to the south, to the Grove, as a matter of fact, which is our destination. That's where we're trying to get to, is to the Grove. But for now, I want to get to the XP. So we're going to go clear out all the calf hounds in this field. Because these things might not drop any money, but they do drop levels. Alright, anything else around here? Oh, I also realized I didn't take Force Persuade, which I really should have. That's a darn shame. How much more do I need to get to the next level? 7,000? Okay, there's a couple conversations that I'm going to avoid until I get to the next level, because I forgot that, yeah, I took Night Speed, which I shouldn't have taken yet. I should have taken Force Persuade. That would have been much more useful. So we're going to avoid a couple of conversations around here for right now. I think I know where I can get some cheap free XP pretty darn easily. Let's head around here. There's at least one quest in this area that's pretty easy to do and ought to just spit out some XP. Hello, what are you?
You haven't given us enough money. I guess we're gonna have to take it out of you piece by piece.
No, please! Take my wife and children instead. Anything!
Oh my god, what a coward.
Wife and children. Sounds like a good idea.
Oh no, that's no good. Alright, well, I guess we'll just have to murder them all. In we go. Oh. Looks like 90% of his health gone in one hit. Come on. Come on. A journal entry's been added. What did I get as a journal entry? Is it the Mandalorian Raiders? I've encountered some of the Mandalorian Raiders plaguing Daphnine and slain them as they did not seem as organized or as powerful as you've been led to believe. Perhaps you've not met their most powerful members. Ah, there's more of them out there. That's fine. A blaster carbine. I'll take that. Repair kit, med kit, computer spikes, all very useful. Anybody else around here have anything that you want me to loot? No? Alright. Let's see if there's anything further to find in this area. How's my XP looking, by the way? 38,000 still. Huh. They only got us a couple. That's fine. I can find a level around here somewhere, I'm sure of it. Like, maybe not killing calf hounds. But I can find some quests and stuff we can do out here. Yeah, 35 XP a go. We're gonna have to kill a lot of calf hounds. I mean, we'll do what we can. Find a work email. Oh, that's fine. You have no idea how glad I am that I don't get work emails. Aha! This is the quest I was looking for. Baluk. Apprentice, your arrival here is well timed. I love this quest, by the way. It's one of my favorites. Who are you and what do you want? Baluk, a Jedi from the Enclave. I was sent by the Council to investigate a killing that took place here a few hours ago. Communication does not pose a problem, as both the suspects and I speak basic and Huttese. I was going to handle this case myself, Now that you are here, this could be an excellent opportunity for you to demonstrate how well you've been learning your lessons at the Academy. Though you are not a full Jedi, perhaps you could assist me in sorting out the truth from the lies. Yeah, what do you want me to do? Listen to the stories given by the two suspects. I've brought an information retrieval droid with access to the archives both of the Jedi Enclave and the planetary capital. I'll use my wisdom and experience to offer you some guidance, but I will not solve the case for you. There's little benefit if you do not solve this problem yourself. Consider each man's account and check the facts with the information droid. Once you've gathered all the evidence you think you need, run through the possible scenario with me. If you're unable to come up with a satisfactory resolution, I will take these men to the Enclave and deal with it myself. So we have to solve a murder mystery. According to the accounts of the participants, these three men were out in the field together earlier before the clouds broke. I find it very odd, for most people would seek shelter indoors when the sky is filled with dark storm clouds as it was earlier today. That is not the most puzzling aspect of the case. The dead man, Kaldar Nedek, was shot in the back with a blaster rifle. A rifle was found lying near his body with bloodstains on it, and sent back to the Enclave for analysis. Two other men were found at the scene when I arrived. One was Handon Gould, he was unarmed. The other was Ricard Lusoff, who was carrying a hunting laser. Both men say they did not do anything, that they came across the body. Both also accuse the other. Obviously, there is more to this than what we have been told. Okay, anything else I should know? One last thing, when I arrived, Handon was holding his side, and Ricard was favoring one of his legs. You would do well to remember this as we progress through the case. If there's anything else you need, I will remain here while you question the witnesses. Okay, this is actually a fairly in-depth little murder mystery puzzle. Like, you are going to need to piece this one together. The game is not just going to spell it out for you. So let's go take a look at Kaldar. Body of Kaldar Nedek is apparently shot from behind with a blaster rifle. Alright. We're looking at... Got it. Handon Gould, Ricard Lusoff, and a droid. So Handon was clutching his side, Ricard holding his leg, or favoring his leg.
Ah, greetings. You must be assisting Master Baluk in his investigation. I'm Handon Gould. Perhaps you've heard of me?
No, I have not heard of you, Mr. Gould. I apologize.
Well, I presume you wish to hear my story, then. I shall tell you, of course, but there's not much to it. I'm sure that you'll agree that Ricard is quite obviously guilty of murder. You see, I was out here running earlier today. Yes, running. I do that a lot. Can't stand speeders, never use them. Keeps me in shape, too, you know. Anyway, I was out running on the other side of that bridge there, and all of a sudden I heard a shot coming from over here. I ran over and found this man Kaldar lying on the ground, dead.
Got it. Alright, did you see the killer?
I saw Ricard come skulking out of the shadows of the rocks south of the river, and I knew something was wrong. I hit my emergency button and called the Enclave right away. Well, there. That's my story. Now, please hurry this up and arrest Ricard so I can get on with my day.
Alright, so... basics on that. Out for a walk. Heard a shot, found a body, saw this guy come out of the shadows.
Another Jedi, huh? Helping that Twi'lek investigate, no doubt. He seems stumped. I'm Ricard Lusoff. Maybe you can figure this out and let me get out of here.
Sure, let me hear your side.
Well, I was out hunting Iriaz when I spotted one over here by the bridge. I pull out my rifle and aim at it. I couldn't see it that well, mind you, because the damn sun was in my eyes. So I shoot it and it drops. I walk over here and find Handon standing over Kaldar's body. So why don't you get this whole farce over with and send that whiner Handon to the prison he belongs in?
Alright, so he's out hunting. Somewhere over in this direction, looks through his scope, sees an Iriaz, takes aim, finds this guy crouched over a body. Let's talk to this droid.
Greetings, apprentice. You must be the one Master Baluk has enlisted to help him with this problem. I am an information retrieval droid. I can assist you by accessing the records of both the Jedi Enclave and the central government facilities here on Dantooine. If you have any need of my services, please do not hesitate to talk to me. I have already retrieved some information from the archives on Kaldar Nedek, Ricard Lusoff, and Handon Gould. I have also had time to examine the body of Mr. Nettic. Is there any information you require?
Oh, he's got excellent. Okay, what about the body? What can you give me?
My preliminary analysis of the body indicates that he was killed approximately 3 hours ago by a single energy blast to the torso. Is there any other information you need?
Sure. Tell me about... Yeah, what about the plains we're standing in?
These plains are rife with wild animals, not all of them benign. The Irias are mostly docile, but can easily be provoked to violence. Kathhounds, on the other hand, are much more deadly. There have been over 35 catalogued attacks on settlers by Kathhounds in the last 2 weeks. A general advisory was given out 3 days ago to carry a weapon at all times when on the plains. Small farms and holdings dot the plains and can provide safe refuge for those in need. Is there any other information you need?
Got it. Alright, so... warnings about Kathhound attacks.
Very well. I will be here to assist you.
Alright, let's check with him real quick. He's unarmed, right?
How can I be of further assistance?
Why were you out here?
I was taking my daily constitutional. I just happened to be running by when I heard a shot. I ran over and found Calder's body lying there.
Yeah, do you often run around the plains?
Yes, quite often. I generally prefer running to anything else. Can't stand speeders. A healthy body will breed a healthy mind, as I always say.
Yeah, you're holding your side. Are you injured?
Injured? No, of course not. Why would I have been? Fit as a bathtub. I run.
Oh, no. Okay, let's see what else he's got to say. Well, something's odd. What did you see happen?
Actually, I didn't see anything. I was over across the bridge. I heard a shot and came over. I can tell you I was sure surprised to see Calder's body lying there. I just got here when I saw Rickard coming out of the rocks holding his blaster. I was terrified. I had no idea what he was going to do, so Master Baluk came out here with his droid and started questioning us. I think he really doesn't understand what's going on. I hope that you'll be able to make a more informed decision and get me out of here soon. I have things I have to do. Of course, of course. Listen, if you need anything, I shall be glad to assist.
Got it. Okay, a little odd he's not carrying a weapon.
So, what do you want?
Why were you out here? Hunting Irias,
I told
right?
you already, didn't I? Was hunting some Irias. Haven't seen many in the area recently, what with those cat hounds acting up. But they're still around. Was in my blind a little south of here when I spotted one, like I said before. I shot, pow, it went down. But when I come over here, there's Handon standing over the body and the Irias was gone. Now, I don't have nothing to do with this, so can I go now?
Not just yet. I'm gonna ask you something else. Yes. Luke says you're limping. Were you hurt?
Well, I kind of sprained my ankle running through the bush before I found the body.
Suspicious
But it's
explanations for
nothing that
both
serious.
injuries. Alright.
Right.
Let's, anything
Is
else
that-
here? No. Alright, Baluk, let's do it. Yeah, let's discuss the murder. We'll start at the beginning. If we find the truth behind each piece of the puzzle, we'll no doubt resolve the case. Handon said he was nearby and heard a shot, ran over only to find Calder dead. He said Rickard came out of the shadow of the rocks holding a blaster in his hands. Rickard said he was hunting Irias, saw one go through the glare of the sun, and shot at it. It's possible that Rickard may have shot Calder accidentally and Handon may have found the body, but that seems a very unlikely explanation. More likely that at least one of them is lying. Obviously, one of these men is not telling us something, but where does the truth lie? I can tell you right now that for sure Rickard is lying. Because Rickard said he was blinded by the sun, and that he couldn't tell whether it was an Irias or not that he was aiming at, and you all mentioned it was cloudy and dark storm clouds, and why would anyone come out here and all. That said, Handon's definitely not telling the truth about something. It's odd that he would be out running daily. If he's such an avid walker, why is he not armed? It's very possible that that blaster rifle we found over there next to the body is his. So what's going on here? We'll start with Rickard, because I can prove that he's lying. Why do I believe that? It was cloudy, there was no sun glare. Yeah. Well done, it was very cloudy this morning. If it had happened as Rickard said, the sun would not have been visible at the time of the killing. seem to have caught Rickard in a bit of a lie. It seems I was correct in assuming you could help me with this case. This lie doesn't prove Rickard is guilty, but I think you've taken the first step in unraveling this mystery. We should proceed to the next point. We need to find a motive for the killing. Maybe you should talk to the men about their relationship to the victim. If there's anything else you need, I'll remain here while you question the witnesses. Okay. First time we talked about him, he tried at first to say that he just found the body of this man, Calder, over here. Like he didn't know the guy. Then he seemed a little bit later like he did seem to be somewhat familiar with him. He knew the guy's name right away and seemed to be reasonably familiar. Let's go ahead and start each of them, see what they have to say.
How can I be of further assistance?
Do you know the victim?
I know him a little bit, but I was not any sort of great friend to him or anything. I never really associated with him that much. In truth, I didn't really want to. He had a reputation. Very inconsiderate of family, I heard. But merely having heard unkind things about someone wouldn't make me want to kill him.
Okay, so he barely knows the guy by choice, because he heard the guy has a bit of a reputation. I want to ask you something else.
How can I be of further assistance?
Do you know why someone would want to kill him? Any reasons you can think of for that?
Well, you see, Calder was involved in some pretty sordid business from time to time. More often than not, I've heard.
Okay.
Disreputable business practices, even more disreputable clients. I've even heard he had dealings with a hut here on Dantooine. Now, I bet you're wondering if I had any reasons to kill the man, but I tell you, I hardly knew him. I saw him once or twice, yes, and I've heard some pretty unkind things about him, but certainly nothing that would make me want to kill him.
Alright, that's fine. What else you got here? Nothing?
Of course.
Nothing
So
else.
if you need anything, I shall be glad to assist.
That should be fine for now. Let's see what Rickard has to say.
So, what do you want to know?
Yeah, did you know the victim?
Yeah, I knew him. Hell, we've known each other for a good long time. Doesn't mean I really have to have liked the slimeball. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on him. Especially now that he's dead. We actually got along pretty well most of the time. We just had our differences. We were actually business partners. We were involved in some orbit-to-ground transport operations for Aerotech. Can I leave now? I should probably be the one to give the news to his wife.
Yeah, no, I have some more questions for you.
So, what do you want to know?
Okay, do you know any reasons anyone would want to kill him? Yeah.
You Jedi are so predictable. Always seeing some greater purpose behind everything, when the simple answer is usually the right one. Can't you see that it must have been Handon? I found him standing over the damned body. I don't know why this is causing you so much trouble. You almost seem as lost as this Baluk guy.
Okay, I mean, asking for a motive is a pretty standard thing in a crime, my guy. You need to calm down.
Right.
Alright. Droid, give me some info. I've got their stories now. What do you got for
Is there
me?
any other information you need?
What can you tell me about, Handon and Calder?
The Southwood Speeder rental business has records that over the past several weeks, a speeder had been rented by Mr. Nettic and Mr. Gould. Is there any other information you need?
So he said they barely knew each other by choice, and yet they're renting a speeder together. He also claims he doesn't like speeders. So something's off here. He's definitely got some lies caught up in.
According to the municipal authorities near the Garang spaceport, there had been news of violent drunken activity in a cantina attached to the port. Apparently, a Mr. R. Lusoff was making accusations at a Mr. C. Nettic about cheating him in a business deal. Jedi Tuka was dispatched to the scene and restored order. Is there any other information you need?
Okay. We knew that he seemed to say they'd had their differences, so them arguing isn't that surprising. We'll ask him more about it, but let's...
Very well. I will be here.
Let's get back to talking to you. You, sir, said you didn't know this
How
guy.
can I be of further assistance?
Yeah, you knew Calder better than you admit. You rented a speeder with him.
But I realize this must seem like a motive to you, but I assure you it isn't. I dislike Calder, true. I would punch his face in, given the opportunity, but I would not kill him.
Okay. Punch his face in, why?
My wife was cheating on me with him. I slept in my own bed while I was in the next room. But, as much as I may hate him for that, I could not kill him. It may have been my own fault for driving my wife away. I must try not to take the law into my own hands. I was just out running, trying to clear my head for the divorce proceedings, not stalking him to kill him. Running is not a crime.
Okay, but finding out that your wife is cheating on you with someone might be motive for a murder, my guy. Like, that's something you might want to mention up front. Hiding it does not look good. Alright. Anything else? Do you have any further... You wanted to kill Calder for having an affair with your wife. Okay, we're not going to say that right now. Let's go look around a little. Rickard.
So, what do you want to know?
Yeah, you thought Calder was cheating you at your business. You didn't mention that the first time. What do you got to say?
Now, I don't love Calder, but we go back a long way. We run a suborbital shipping and transport company out of Garang Spaceport. We've been partners in that business for well over 20 years, and we've been doing just fine the way we are.
Okay, you can deny it, but there was bad blood between you. We have the reports of the bar fight.
Right.
I mean, again, it does somewhat seem like he's the one that's... I mean, he's admitted to it now. He's still covering something up. Let's go talk to Baluk. There's something I can do to help you in this investigation. Yeah, let's discuss the murder. You know, Rickard lied about the sun blinding him while he was shooting. We need more to go on to examine the relationship of each man with the victim. Handon told me he barely knew the victim. On the other hand, Rickard said the victim business partners. According to Rickard, they got along quite well. On the surface, neither man seems to have a motive for killing Calder. Okay, so he still doesn't know about the affair. Now, Handon's the far more notable suspect here. Handon, why do you believe that? Handon's lying to you, not because he flat out told me he knew his wife was cheating on him. Certainly his motive for murder. The case is taking shape, however, you mustn't jump to any quick conclusions. Perhaps we should now focus on the murder weapon itself. You might want to see what information the witness and the information droid can provide you about the blaster found near the body. If there's anything you need, I'll remain here while you question the witnesses. I mean, we don't know that that's the murder weapon. We just know that it was found near the body and covered in blood. He could have been holding that rifle and defending himself for all we know. Let's start out with Handon.
How can I be of further assistance?
What do you know about the weapon found by the body?
That blaster was stolen from my house last week. I never knew what happened to it. I hardly have enough money to afford a single blaster, let alone another. I can't tell you how important it is to have a weapon on hand with all these ravenous cath hounds around. Even an Iriaz can take a man down if it gets in the mood. Every settler has a weapon. It's our most prized possession. I would most appreciate it if I could have that back after you determine that Rickard is the killer. How can I be of further assistance?
Okay, so it's his weapon. He's admitting to that. However, he says it was stolen from him. Alright.
Of course.
Try Handon. What do you know? Do you know anything about this weapon?
So, what do you... That blaster? Never seen it before. Calder himself had a preference for Echani weaponry. He had this one really nice light blaster rifle that he always used. Always wished I could get myself a rifle like the one he had. That blaster ain't it, though. Calder only had the one rifle, too, so he either must have borrowed that, or it's someone else's.
Got it. Alright, that's straightforward enough.
Right.
We did hear about the warning issued that everyone should be traveling with a rifle. I've got 3 people and 2 guns. His hunting rifle and this blaster rifle. Droid, info.
Is there any other information you need?
Is there a report of Handon's... Yeah, tell me about the weapon found at the scene. Let's start with that.
We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample, other than the fact it did not belong to Calder. Is there any other information you need?
Got it. So, we know the weapon didn't belong to Calder. Well, we know it belongs to Handon, so that's not too big of a deal. Yeah, any report of the blaster being stolen?
I am sorry, but I seem to be failing you. I have searched and searched, but I cannot seem to come up with anything at all. I thought to find the record of the missing weapon report Mr. Gould filed with the authorities, but there does not seem to be one. Is there any other information you need?
No, that's fine. Let's go double check with Handon. Handon?
How can I be of further assistance?
Yeah, what about the weapon?
That blaster was stolen from my house last week. I would most of... How can I...
Yeah, okay. Oh, I can't question him about not filing a missing weapons report.
Of course.
Alright, well, Baluk. Is something I can help you with the investigation? Yeah, let's discuss the murder. What have I determined about the weapon? Specifically about the weapon. The blaster is Handon's and he lied about it being stolen. That is true. Caught Handon in a lie. Interesting, but I think we may need one final piece of the puzzle. There was a blood sample on the weapon that had been sent back for analysis just before you arrived. Perhaps you could inquire with the information droid about it. If there's anything else you need, I'll remain here while you question the witnesses. Yeah, blood sample. Info. Blood sample?
I have just received back an analysis of a sample of the blood found on the weapon. It had been sent back to the Enclave just before you arrived. The blood on the weapon.
Yeah, I agree. Very odd to not report a weapon theft, especially if they're supposed to be, for self-defense while walking.
Been taken back to the laboratory. And if
bacterial contamination?
We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample, other than the fact it did not belong to Calder. Is there any other information you need?
We can very conveniently prove that it is not Calder's blood, and that is all we can prove. I'm not entirely certain how the science on that works, but sure. You got it, man.
Very well. I will be here to assist you.
I'm no, forensic scientist, but I'm willing to bet that that's not a thing that can happen. Anyways, Handon...
How can I be of further...
yeah, injury?
Injured?
No, okay, so he's nervous about his injury. Alright, Baluk. Let's discuss the murder. Assume the blood in the weapon belongs to the victim, but I want to be thorough. What have I learned about the blood in the weapon? It didn't belong to the victim. The blood must belong to one of the suspects, but which one? Gotta be Handon, man. Holding his side, it's definitely Handon. I don't trust him. I mean, fair, that's true. I don't trust him. I don't trust either of these guys. He's clutching his side. Yeah, we'll go with that. Handon has been moving odd since I arrived. Perhaps we should examine him a little more closely.
Hey, what are you doing?
Blood. Handon appears to have suffered some sort of blaster wound to his side. It seems there's one logical scenario. Handon killed Calder for having an affair with his wife. Richard was out hunting and accidentally shot Handon after he had killed Calder. No, I think they're both guilty. Go with who you don't trust. Hi, Reavers. Yeah, go with who I don't trust. I mean, I don't trust either of these people, so I guess we're just going all in. No, they're both guilty. I don't think that's the case at all. Rickard was out hunting and accidentally shot Handon after he killed Calder. No, he didn't accidentally shoot anybody. I think he was out here for a reason. Bold conclusion. One most people would not arrive at. We are not like most people. We are Jedi. Still, I would like to know how you came to this conclusion. You know Calder was having an affair with Handon's wife, but what possible motive could Rickard have for wanting Calder dead? He was also having an affair with Handon's wife. Wait, that wouldn't make any sense. If Rickard was having an affair with Handon's wife, why would Handon... Are they having a love triangle and he's mad at oh my god, quadrilateral? I don't know. I didn't get this far in geometry. What's happening here? No, that doesn't make any sense. That's not it at all. Richard thought Calder was cheating him in a business. In the middle of terrace, nice. Both men had a reason to want Calder dead. This is my theory of this morning's events. Both men knew Calder would be out here this morning, and each plotted to kill him. Handon found him first and shot him because of the affair Calder was having with his wife. Shortly after, Rickard arrived on the scene. From a distance, he saw Handon and thought it was Calder, so he shot him in retaliation for the credits Calder had cheated him out of in their business. Handon would have dropped his blaster, the one we found in the scene covered in blood. He probably thought Rickard was going to kill him, so he called us, hoping he could convince us it was Rickard.
Damn both of you.
That's enough. The culpability of both of you in the murder and attempted murder of Kaldur Nedek is evident. Additionally, Rickard Lusov can be charged with aggravated assault and attempted murder of Handon Gold. I place both of you under the arrest of the Jedi Order and will escort you to the holding facilities in the Jedi Enclave. Done well here, it's obvious you've been studying your lessons carefully. I will be sure to inform the Jedi Council of your performance in this little test. T3 is very happy. Thank you, T3. Good day, and may the Force be with you. Alex, why am I still awake? I bed now, but I leave on lurk. Thank you! Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sending Mochi over, too, and thanks for stopping by, Mochi. I think it's revenge chain because Handon killed Kaldur for the affair, so Rickard might have a different reason. Yeah, it was the cheating him in the business thing. I don't think it was a love quadrilateral, love rhombus. All right, love rectangle. I don't know, whatever. Something with 4 sides. One of them. How are we doing on XP? That got me like 2,000 XP. Oh god. I still need another 5,000 XP. Oh my god, I'm gonna be here forever. That's fine. Oh, also you can see here how the level thing works. I am a level 8 soldier, and I will forever be a level 8 soldier. The rest of my levels will be going into Jedi Guardian, which is, yeah, what I was talking about when I said sometimes it can be worth not leveling up as a soldier or your base class initially, so that you can save those levels for dumping into your Jedi. So, when you get your level up buttons appearing on your character, if you're trying to really min-max your build, don't click them. Wait till you become a Jedi, and then you can click them then and put all your... They'll count as Jedi levels. I'm not that fussy. We're not going to worry about that. Let's keep exploring out here. By the way, do I have... This is the area I bought the map for. Okay, cool. I don't need to go get a refund. I did, in fact, get my 2 credits worth of map. Oh, hello. I don't know why I didn't get a jump there. That's a little weird. Alright. Fight through the rest of this. Oh. Hello. Stop beating up my droid. Oh god, they have spotted enemies. Zelbar, no. You don't need to kill everything, it's fine. Really only work on building up 8. I was gonna get implant free for free. Yeah. There's definitely like an argument to be had for leveling certain classes up to certain levels if you want to really metagame it. Like getting the sneak attack bonuses from Scoundrel is super useful. Implant 3 is really nice. Soldier is arguably the one that you want to level up the least. Because I don't even think... Does Soldier even get like a scaling bonus feat? I don't think you do. Yeah, Soldier's the only class that doesn't. So arguably Soldier, you kind of want to get out of being a Soldier as fast as possible and get into being a Guardian. If you're going melee. So that would have been probably a slightly smarter option for me. Is to avoid doing that. I don't care. I'm not that fussed about min-maxing my build. As you may have noticed, I'm already pretty much just like one-shotting most standard enemies in this game. This isn't the most difficult game in the world. Like you could definitely like up the combat difficulty and stuff. I think there's a difficulty setting on this. I should look at that at some point. I'm pretty sure I'm just playing on normal, if there is a difficulty setting, but I'm not even sure what the difficulty setting would actually affect here, because this is running by, like, Wizards of the Coast's D20 system. Just, like, adjust the damage the enemies do, or, like... Is there a difficulty? There is a difficulty. The game is designed to be played using the normal, will have a significant effect on combat and damage. Okay, so this adds like damage bonuses to the enemies. Got it. Two-handed weapon feats. I am all the way up. Two-handed weapons. We've maxed out two-handed weapons, and we've maxed out flurry. So we are taking the least amount of a accuracy penalty on that. My current accuracy is at +13 and +14. It ain't very likely that I'm gonna miss. Like, we can go back and take a look here at the little feedback screen. My attack here, I hit with a 23 on a roll of 10. This thing's defense was 16. So if I roll a 3 or higher, I hit. Out of 20. And a 1 is an automatic fail either way. So that's about as good as you're gonna get. The defense on that thing, yeah, that thing has a +4 dex mod as well. That's actually really high. And we'll actually be getting more accurate as time goes on. We haven't even gotten all the accuracy modifiers that we're going to be getting. I want to stay away from there for right now, actually. We'll be back for that. So level two-handed or flurry first. Well, what I tend to recommend, if you're going for like a melee build, is that like, because this is what, level 4 and level 8, and this is also level 4 and level 8. So like level 1, you'll get one of these. I kind of do them in like on par with others. Like level 1 and 2, and level 3 you can pick up like toughness. Level 4 and 5, level 6 I picked up empathy for the persuade. And then level 7, I picked up my second rank of toughness. And then levels 8 and 9, I picked up these two right here, just to make sure we're all nice and evenly leveled up as we're going up. Is usually kind of how I do it. It doesn't really matter. Flurry's super useful. It's, in my opinion, definitely the best of the like special attack perks you can take. But that's, I mean, two-handed weapon is also really good and affects all of your regular attacks as well. So if you just want to press, R once to start attacking and then sit back and fall asleep, that's certainly worthwhile. Alright. Heal myself once because we're getting a little low on health. And then, let's heal the droid too. The droid's getting a little dangerous. There we go. That's looking better. Yeah, KOTOR 2 with the restored content mod is going to be really sick. Unfortunately, we don't have a release date on the restored content mod just yet. I did see someone that contacted Aspyr and asked what the restored content mod was going to contain, if it was going to contain any new content, or just content that was in the restored content mod that's available on PC. It is just the restored content mod that's available on PC, which is really great. I've played that. It's super good, and I'm really glad that it's getting its first official release. That's actually why I'm streaming this right now, is because I want to get prepared for when KOTOR 2 is out. And I'm actually going to play through KOTOR 2 on the PC. I'm going to finish this up over like the next week or two, so I'll probably be a little behind the release of KOTOR 2. But I'm going to play through KOTOR 2 on the PC because the graphics will be a little nicer, and I'll have the restored content mod already. Switch is going to be waiting for it, whereas I'll have it available right away, and then I can kind of show it off, and that gives people an idea of like, is this something that, do I want to invest in this on the Switch or not? Do I want to pick up the restored content mod or not? I'm sure the performance will be fine. It's a super old game. It better run fine on the Switch. Playing this on my iPhone. Yeah, I can't believe, man, that you can play like. I remember when they released that, I was like, oh my god, I can play Knights of the Old Republic on my phone. Like, what a timeline. This is the best. Oh, Davik's Warsuit. Hello? Am I not wearing that? Why am I not wearing that? Hello? Like battle armor. This is just fundamentally better. It's a 7 plus 2. This is an 8 plus 3. Why am I... And it comes with a bunch of... Why am I not wearing that? This is just better in every aspect. My dex score is a +1. Okay, well, we're not going to be dumb anymore, and we're going to put on the ridiculously much better armor. I think I just gained, like, at least a point of armor, plus a bunch of resistance. That's going to keep me alive better. Oh, you know why I didn't wear it? I'll tell you exactly why I didn't wear it now that I'm stopping to think for a second. Ooh, Eridu Strength Amplifier. Hold on. That might be really good too. Strength Gauntlets, it is really good. I'll take that. And you know who else wants the other one? It is the Wookiee. Oh, we're getting good now. But yeah, I know exactly why I didn't wear it. It's because I got that right at the end of last part, and I forgot it was in my inventory when I came back today. Whoops. Do I have anything else that I'm sitting on that I might want to equip? Maybe this melee shield at some point, huh? Mandalorian data pad. Jarg went missing in Sector B, then Riza saw someone moving south of there. Take a couple troops and find out who it was. If they look suspicious, terminate. Jarg, did you remember not to take the XT model bike out today? There was something funny with one of the intakes, and I thought it could jam. Consider yourself lucky. If someone was dumb enough to take that thing out, he would have plowed right into the ground within a kilometer.
Yes?
Okay. But one of the bikes has a jammed thruster. Do I play SWTOR? Not like super actively. I have played it in the past. I've completed like 4, I think, of the character stories. I haven't completed all the expansions. And I do actually plan to check that out. At least go through the main storyline of like Jedi Knight on stream after I've finished the KOTOR games at some point. It might not be right away, but I do want to get into looking at that. Because SWTOR is quite good. And I do enjoy a few MMOs. Oh no, we found a droid under attack! We were looking for a droid. What have we found? Let's get over here. Oh god, T3, are you okay, buddy? I did really enjoy how SWTOR like ties into this. Like, there's some really fun stuff that like ties these games together. Updated weapon system, yeah. They actually I've actually played since then. They completely removed the like weapon. So you know how before there was like subclasses? So you'd have like power tech, bounty hunter, and I don't remember what the dual wielding or duelist bounty hunter or whatever the other bounty hunter was. They're like two different weapon trees for each class, or skill trees for each class, and then each of those had like 3 specs within them, like 3 talent trees within them. They have unlocked all of it so that you can play any of the 4 Jedi specs with a Jedi, either of the 2 main Jedi character classes, and any of the like non-Jedi specs with any of the non-Jedi classes. The storyline that you'll play through will be the one for the class that you pick. So like, I'll give you an example here of one that I know. What were some of the trooper class? Like heavy weapon specialist, I think, was one of the trooper classes. And then smuggler, there was like gunslinger was I think one of them. You could pick trooper as your class, and then gunslinger as your specialization. And you will have all of the talents and abilities and everything that was available to the gunslinger smuggler, but you'll be playing the story of the trooper, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's really much more customizable. It lets you play the classes a lot more like you like. And from what I understand, if you pick like all dark side options as a Jedi, it'll actually let you switch into playing as the like Juggernaut or whatever the Sith version of those classes are, and you get the Sith version of the abilities, which is a really neat touch too. That you can actually like, if you want to play as a Jedi that falls to the dark side, you can actually do that now. which is a very, very fun mechanic. And I'm sure has completely destroyed the balance of the PvP in the game. Actually, I don't think I've ever played PvP in that game, but I'm sure it's made a mess of trying to get any of that working. C842, what are you?
Thank you for saving me, Master Jedi. I am C842, a personal assistance droid.
Yes, personal assistance droid. Are you the one I'm looking for?
As I said, I am C842, a personal assistance droid. Although in recent months, the assistance I render seems to have taken on a disproportionate significance.
Yeah, are you Elise's droid?
Did she send you to find me? Please do not tell her you saw me.
Yeah, you're running?
Yes, but I have my reasons. I'm afraid my owner became a bit too attached to me. Obsessed, even.
Oh dear.
She tried to treat me as her dead husband. It was not healthy for her.
Yeah, all the time? Excuse me?
You don't want to know.
Probably T3? You should go wait on the ship.
She is obsessed. She rarely sees other people, and appears to be fixated on me as her husband. She was becoming more and more insular. I thought it best that I leave. She may meet other real people this way. In fact, that was the reason I came here and sought out those cat hounds.
But you sought them out?
I think it would be best if I were no longer a factor. She would meet new people, living people. Please, will you destroy me?
Oh my god. Final destroy her and tell her why you did it. That seems like it would kind of defeat the point. I think he kind of wanted her to just think that he was destroyed so that she would move on. Now you should go back to her. I'll destroy her and tell her you're still out here. Oh god, that is definitely the most evil option. I mean, okay, I don't want to send this droid back to her. That seems unhealthy. This droid does not seem happy, and this woman does not seem in a healthy state. I guess option 1 is technically the best option.
Thank you, kind sir. You have my eternal gratitude.
You've got it, buddy. Well, you heard the man droid. I guess we've done a good thing here. Meanwhile, a cave. I'm willing to bet that this... E3, how are you so damaged already? Yes. Good lord. I'm willing to bet that this cave is very dark. I hope this is actually showing up reasonably well on stream. In my preview it looks like it's a little better, but the preview TV that I'm using is also slightly less saturated than my monitor, so that might make it look a little crisper in this dark area. Kinrath. Yes, I see. Strange bug creature. Oh, I've been poisoned. That's fine. I can deal with some poison. This must be the lightsaber crystal cave that we heard about. So let's get in there and start gathering some lightsaber crystals. I'm assuming my droid can't be poisoned, so I'm actually kind of okay with them attacking him. No, don't attack the Wookiee. Me or the droid, please. Thank you. Uh-oh. Droid's looking a little... or Wookiee's looking a little rough. Everybody, heal. Heal again. There we go. Alright, we're good. How's my Wookiee doing, Zalbar? You'll be okay there, buddy. Alright, we've killed all of the Kinrath. That's good. And we've got a lot of crystal formations around here, and Kinrath eggs. A crystal's found in the remains of the egg. Okay. Can we just... Crystals found. Crystals found. I'd like to loot as much of this as possible, so that I'm actually getting all of my crystals out of this. Is there one on this? Remains of Durasteel Bonding Ally and a Response Package. Response Package might be useful for Zalbar. We have more Kinrath eggs. More Kinrath eggs. Another crystal formation. Apparently I'm not interested in these Kinrath eggs. Those Kinrath eggs aren't important. That's fine. Let's get the lightsabers here. Are we good here, game? There we go. Apparently that Kinrath egg didn't have any crystals in it. We're not interested in that Kinrath egg. Acquired a lightsaber crystal. Very good. Acquired a crystal. Acquired a lightsaber crystal. We're going to stock up on crystals real quick. And then when we're done, we're going to head back to the Jedi Enclave and see what we can do with these crystals. Anything else here? Yeah, there's a couple right here. Let's get this taken care of. Really, am I not interested in either of those eggs either? Well then, we'll just pick up this crystal. Alright, I think that's everything there is to do here. I think. If we're caught up. Yeah. There's one more big quest that we can go look into out here. Related to the Metales and I can't remember the name of the other family. There's two families out here that are having a bit of a feud. We can go look into that. Oh! And that's my level. That is perfect. I was hoping we were going to get a level up here. I need to put a point into something. Because I was an idiot and I picked this rank of speed, which I can't even use right now because I don't have Jedi robes. I should have taken Effect Mind that lets me get Force Persuade. Only the main player character can assign this. We want that for sure. Oh man, look at that. I could have taken the second rank already if I hadn't assigned a point into this like an idiot. I could be in Dominate Mind. A universal power, not dark side. Very few beings can resist, does not affect droids. Yeah, this is extra options in combat or in dialogue. Sorry, not in combat. Alright. We've cleared out most of the, wildlife. Let's just continue to take a little bit of a look around here, make sure... Aha! It's more Mandalorians. Let's get them cleared out. Perfect. Alright. Hey, Thomas! Oh, nice Squirtle emote. Like it. Oh, and also, Reavers, I just noticed, thank you for the follow. Sorry, I'm catching my chat in a weird spot today because when I'm streaming this game I can't have my normal overlay on, so I have to have it on a monitor off to the right. And I have to keep looking over to see that, so thank you. We've got skills. Droid, give me more skills. Demolitions, we could definitely use that. If we're gonna have you together, you're definitely gonna need to start learning how to use demolitions. What can we do with our droid? What do you do with a droid? He's gonna get toughness. That seems to make the most sense. Wookiee, Zalbar, what do you got? You're gonna go all repair. Let's really lean into computer use. 10 is usually pretty good. Feats. Yeah. We're gonna go up here with this guy. He's pretty much a soldier. I mean, like, nah, he's a scout, which is a little different, but he gets the same kind of a build you'd usually be doing with like a melee soldier. Big bonuses, he gets the implants, which, speaking of which, I believe I had a, yeah, potentially, no, it's the same implant. He's literally wearing the same implant that we just got. Fine. I will take Regic's armband. That's fine. Give you the melee shield then. Good. And give E3. Is there anything else for you right now? Not really, huh? Alright, well, we can eventually look at upgrading. What's computer probe? Oh, computer use +2. Wow. He's going to be real good at that then.
Sure.
Let's look at a Mandalorian data pad and stabilizer gauntlets. I think we've already read the other Mandalorian data pads, so let's see. Oh, this is just a duplicate of one that we already had. That's fine. $50 credits, mines, very good. A metal case for a repair kit. Equipment pack with a med pack in it. I think we're good. Speaking of RPGs and like this, like old style, like character RPG like this, so I'm a big fan of like Warhammer. Love Warhammer 40k, old fantasy battle stuff like Total War Warhammer games. And yesterday was the big like Skulls Festival, or was it the day before? One of the two, where they announced all their new news about like upcoming Warhammer video games and such. And they announced a character RPG, like a CRPG like this, set in the 40k universe, called Rogue Trader. And I am super excited for that. Albino Calf Hound, what the heck is this? Oh my god, we found a rare. It's healing. But yeah, we're getting like a Warhammer 40,000 RPG like this, which I cannot wait for. And I think in the little like promo art for it, it looks like you're going to be able to play as a bunch of the different like factions in the setting. So like I think I saw one of the Sisters of Battle in there. There was a Space Wolf, Space Marine, bunch of different stuff in there, which looks really, really exciting. I am super looking forward to hearing more info about that. We'll see. I mean, to be fair, like 40k games are very hit or miss. Some of them are really, really great. Some of them are really, really boring. There aren't too many that are like bad. It's just they tend to sometimes be a little boring, and when your entire setting is based on being as over the top and cool as possible, boring is a bit of a letdown. Alright, hold up. We've already done everything I can do out here except for the mission that we were sent out on, and then the Metales thing. So why don't we, before we do that, what time is it? Yeah, I can go for like another 45 minutes or so without desperately needing to stop. Journal. Mandalorian Raiders perhaps have not met their most powerful members. Maybe I haven't. Let's go upgrade my lightsaber, because we've definitely gotten some fancy upgrade crystals. We can talk to this lady about her droid. Check my gear, make sure that's all looking good.
My droid is still missing.
I found her droid has been destroyed by calf hounds. Yeah, that seems like the most logical thing. Although I did tell the droid that I would tell her. He seemed happy about that. Raider droid had to be destroyed. This seems like, see, telling her that it was destroyed by calf hounds seems like it would be the most sensible way to help her move on naturally. I don't know. I guess we did. We told him that we would tell her. So let's stick to our word. Raider droid had to be destroyed.
My droid? Destroyed? No. No, this cannot be happening. I can't bear to live without him.
Wait, what? Ma'am? Should we stop her? I mean, like, upside, like, free speed her, but, like, hello? She just, like, jump in the river? What the hell happened to her? Ma'am? I feel like we may not have made a good decision there. Oh, well. Apologies, ma'am. Real quick, I guess we're just gonna never mention that to the Jedi Council when they ask how things went today, and we're gonna go see if we can upgrade my lightsaber. Yeah, that's a sensible idea. Let's head over here and take a peek at the lightsaber table. We've got one lightsaber, which I can put a different crystal into if I wanted to. So if I don't like blue, we got like yellow or green or red. Red doesn't actually like make it, you know, dark side or anything. It's fine. I do prefer either the green or the yellow. I think blue is a little bland looking. Maybe it's just because you see so many blue lightsabers. It's like it's kind of the generic lightsaber color. We'll take a look at all three. Yeah, like so that's the yellow. It's kind of an amber yellow, like a goldy yellow. It's honestly it's very similar to Rey's lightsaber at the end of Rise of Skywalker. Attack properties on hit stun. DC 10, that's really bad. 25% for 2 rounds. Okay. I mean, DC 10 is absolutely awful. What does the Rubot Crystal do? Attack +1, damage +1. Honestly, that's probably better, just going double Rubas. Oh, I can't. Okay, well then we'll put the Bondar on there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, fancy lightsaber. Kind of got that gold yellow pulse to it. Super slick looking. I believe, like, canonically, that's not the colors that I should be using, but we'll get to that later. I did say when I started this that there is like a canon backstory and face and everything. Like I am using the like canonically accurate face for this character, but we'll get to that all later. I feel like that woman is maybe not doing well, and it is almost certainly my fault. It's upgradable. This isn't upgradable, which is a bit of a letdown, but eh. Let's see about heading out towards the Matale farm. I like that idea. Yeah, we'll head to the Matale farm and start that quest line. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's head over to the Grove first. Oh, I don't think she killed her husband. I don't think she killed her husband at all. I think she was very much upset because when I met her earlier, she was mentioning that her husband died and the droid was the last thing her husband left to her, and she got super attached to the droid. She was totally sleeping with that droid. And then when I killed it, I think she may have just thrown herself off a bridge. I don't think that ended well. But like I promised the droid I was gonna tell her. I thought I was doing the right thing there. I don't know. Maybe I misread it. Maybe I promised the droid I wouldn't tell her. Whoops. I'm gonna advise that if you're trying to get a good ending in that quest, you'll lie to the lady. I said that I thought that lying would have been a better, like, it feels like the nicer thing to do, but Then I thought that I'd promised the droid that I was just going to tell her. Maybe I misread that. Sorry, attention span of a goldfish. I'm sure it's fine. Her and the droid can go be together in droid heaven. Mandalorian melee shield? Okay. Oh, hello. So this is our Dark Grove that we were sent out to investigate.
I will be your doom!
Oh my god, you'll be the doom of this grass. What the hell did you just do to the lawn? Okay, Juhani, I don't want to hurt you, but I'm gonna. Like, really pretty badly, I have a feeling.
You are strong. Stronger than me, even in my darkness.
Yeah, who are you and what are you doing here?
I am Juhani, and this is my grove. This is the place of my dark power. This is the place you have invaded. When I embraced the dark side, this is where I sought my solace. It is mine.
Okay. So yeah, you were a Jedi then?
A better Jedi than you will ever be. More powerful as well, for I could best my teacher. When I slew my master, Quatra, I knew I could never go back. And now I revel in my dark power. Power enough to crush the life from someone such as you. Or so I had thought.
Uh-huh. You slew Quatra, okay, I got that, I don't need her to repeat it. Yeah, Darkseid's never powerful enough, that's kind of why they always lose.
What is it you want? Why do you bother me?
Sent by the council to cleanse the taint from this grove. No, I don't think I'm gonna start talking about the grove's taint. I just want to talk, yeah.
Talk? You who have beaten me so easily just want to talk? I do not believe it. Kill me now while you still have the power.
Oh, I still have the power. Persuade check, which I fail regularly, but we're gonna try anyways. I have no desire to kill you.
You do
Oh my god, I won!
pathetic. I sit here and think myself to be great by embracing the dark side, but I am nothing. There is no way I could be turned back. I always thought they held me back, or jealous of my power. This is only because I was not good enough to meet their standards. I never have been.
Okay, Juhani, it's fine. Calm down. You're a beautiful young woman who has much talent is my persuade check. Am I even thinking like that? Oh god. I'm terrified I'm gonna click this and then fail the check and it's gonna go really badly. You shouldn't have been a Jedi. Standards can't apply to everyone. The first step on the path to true knowledge is knowing that you're ignorant. I mean, that's very much a Jedi thing to say. This is very much flirting with her. I think we're going to go with the Jedi thing to say and not risk the persuade check there. That sounds like I'm flirting with someone who's having a mental breakdown. This is definitely... We've already made one horribly bad judgment call on the account of I think it's what the game wants me to do today. Let's not make another one.
I seem to still have much to learn, both about being a Jedi and about myself.
Yes, see, this is much better.
The cost of my ignorance had not been so high. I wish that my master had not suffered because of me.
Even in death, the Force will allow her to live. Life is a learning experience. Your master knew the risks. Life is suffering. I suppose there is no hope. I must kill you then. Oh my god, no, calm down. Your master knew the risks. Let's go with even in death, the Force will allow her to live on. That's a optimistic way to look at things.
If she were alive now, there would be so much I would say to her. So much I would apologize for. How can the council ever take me back with what I have done? Striking my master down in anger is unforgivable.
Anger. Show them that you freed yourself from this base passion. The council may forgive a lot. Your master surely won't be forgiving you. Okay, no, that's bad. Don't say that. Yet forgiveness must be asked. Do not worry, Juhani. They will surely take you back. Yeah, yet forgiveness must be asked. We're avoiding the persuade checks. I don't trust them.
And denied. No, leave me to my hope.
Okay, no. Juhani.
I do not know what to do.
Okay. Not your fault, Juhani.
It is. It was I. Leave me to...
Okay, Juhani. For the love of God.
It is.
Okay. Listen, Juhani, we are passing this persuade check.
I only wish
there,
things could
see?
be different. If she were alive now, there would be so much I would say to... How can the Count...
We're gonna try another persuade check here.
I should convince them that I am totally
Yes,
repentant,
there we go.
that I am willing to forsake the dark side.
Good
Maybe,
lord.
just maybe, they would accept me back. Do you think they would? Could it be possible after what I've done?
Of course it would. They would always accept you back. It might be... Your inner peace and harmony will show them your sincerity. I don't know if she has inner peace and harmony, my man. I do not know. You can't bring yourself back, then I must slay you. Yeah, we'll go with the persuade on this one. That seems to be the most sensible option.
I thank you, Master Jedi.
I am not a
will
master.
return to the council then. I shall submit myself to their judgment and hope they will forgive me. Again, I thank you. I am sure I will hear great things about you in the future.
Alright. 1200 XP. Not bad. Heal yourself. Ah, there you go. Alright. And does this Mandalorian have anything on him? Does. Mesh underlay and a stim pack. Where do I need to go to get to that farm that I saw the one time? Oh, hello. Who are you? There's some troops out here. Looks like Mandalorians again. Are you... like, the boss Mandalorians? You're like a red Mandalorian.
Meddler. You have caused us far too much trouble for a mere Jedi. I will add your head to those of the other Jedi I have killed, and take yet another lightsaber for my own. Now you will know why the Mandalorians are feared.
Okay. Let's try that. Uh-oh. Oh dear God. Well, I now know why the Mandalorians are feared. Hold up. Give me a melee shield. Give me an advanced stim pack. Oh God, we are screwed. Okay, hold up. New plan. Kite him. We gotta get out of here, man. We gotta go. Here's the plan. We're leaving. Oh no. No, we're not. Oh God. Alright. New plan. Set fire to him. Get him. Oh God. Alright. That's fine. Oh my God. How far back did that just set me? Okay, not that far. Jesus Christ. Alright, we need to hit the save key more often. Ah, that's fine. Hey! I didn't notice this last time. Her speeder's gone. Alright, that's fine. We'll go back down there. We'll deal with Juhani again. I'll just click through all the dialogue real fast. Also, just in case, I did just notice that my last autosave was like 3 hours ago, which is, the last quick save was like 3 hours ago. That would be bad. I sometimes forget that the autosaves in this game aren't terribly generous. Is there actually a way to increase that? No. Alright. That's fine. Let's head on this way, go back, get Juhani back. Know what options to pick this time, so it should be nice and quick. I'm here. Oh, and this is where the farm is, so we want to head north. I do still want to see if I can do something about those Mandalorians. I should be able to take them. If I like shield up ahead of time and use some grenades and stuff, we should be fine. Make sure I'm fully healed going into it. Save beforehand. Alright, Mandalorian's down. Sorry, not Mandalorian's down. Caphound down. And then we go over here. Here's Juhani. We finish this fight. Then we go deal with the Mandalorians. Possibly we deal with the Caphounds first and then the Mandalorians. Hello, Juhani. Yes, you're gonna do some crazy stuff with the grass. It's totally tweaking out. Oh no. I really don't know what causes that. It's very strange. I think it's her force power. I think it's a unique force ability she has. Force grass. Alright, come on. Perfect. Alright. Who are you? Yep. You were a Jedi then. Yep. Darkseid's never powerful enough. I just want to talk. No desire to kill you. For the love of God. Just want to talk. No desire to kill you. Juhani, I just want to talk. I have no desire to kill you. Thank you. First step in the path to truth. Yep, you got it. Persuade, it's not your fault. Persuade, fail. Yep. Persuade, it's not your fault. Nope, try that again. Persuade, it's not your fault. Good. Oh my god. Oh, this is so annoying. Yep, forgiveness must be asked. Nope, okay, fine. We are just gonna retry this over and over again until I get the persuades to work. Alright, cool. There we go. Done. That's a little goofy. And also again, just to point something out. My skill in Persuade is at an 11. Does it show my Persuade check? No, it doesn't. My skill in Persuade is an 11. When I roll a d20, I add 11 to it. And I am failing almost every speech check that I make. That is insane. I don't understand what's happening there, because there is just no sensible explanation for why I am failing speech checks that regularly. Alright, we're gonna take care of these Caphounds up here first, just to make sure I don't accidentally... Hello? Oh, there it is. I was like, I know there was one here. Make sure I don't accidentally pull a Caphound into this fight. Then we're gonna make sure we get our shields up. That's good enough. We're gonna save first. And let's... As soon as the fight starts, we get our shields up. Yeah. Energy shield. Let's get a adrenal strength. Good. And get ready to kill this guy. There we go. Oh, the stun on me is real, though. That's real bad. There we go. Get him down. Item lost. I wonder what item we lost. Maybe it was the Mandalorian journals. Are we good? Alright, perfect. And T3 didn't take any damage, which is exactly what I wanted to see. Because that means that I can just heal everybody up with the Force. Oh, hello! A pair of lightsabers, and a Verpine cardio regulator and sonic nullifiers. What does that look like? Also, a pair of lightsabers, They're 2 to 16. Are these balanced? They are not. I don't remember if short lightsabers are a thing in this one, or if just use 2 regular lightsabers. So wait, we're at 16-15 in my... Or 16-18. 18 chance to hit. If I switch to this, we're going to a 16-15. So I'm losing quite a bit of chance to hit. To go from a 5-14 to 19-20. These are upgradable to a substantially higher degree. Hold up. We're going to search something real quick. I can't remember if they added short lightsabers in KOTOR 2 or if short lightsabers were in KOTOR 1. KOTOR 1 short lightsaber. Is that a thing? Okay, yep, they're definitely in here. That's fine. So we don't want to switch over to that just yet. I want to keep the balanced melee weapon until I get a short lightsaber. Eventually you can get lightsabers that are called short lightsabers, and they have the balanced property, which means you can use them in your offhand without taking an accuracy penalty. Once you have those are typically the best way to go about doing things. Really, 10 to 24. Oh, right, because that's... Right, and this is saying I'm getting a +5 from my strength. Right. Perfectly understandable, that's fine. We would actually be about the same damage and significantly less accurate with both weapons if I switched over right now. Brejik's belt is damage resistance. This is fortitude save. I will keep that. Don't have the perk I need for this. I might start looking at putting the perks in for implants. I think I can do that. I think you can pick up implant perks on normal characters. I don't think you have to be specifically a scout for that. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll find out. And now that we've done that, I've got about 20 minutes left to go here. I think we can start up and finish this other little side quest we have out here. And depending on how much time I have left after this, I may even have time to finish up, like, the whole planet today. Oh. Actually, wait, I definitely won't, come to think of it. Come to think of it, I definitely won't have time to finish the whole planet. I just remembered how much there is to do once we get inside that ruin. But that's fine. We'll save the ruin for the next torch. That'll be a good kickoff to the next part. Kill the Cath Hounds. Yeah, we can start getting our health back using the Force as we go now. My Force points will slowly regenerate over time. I think that is a little faster if you have higher either Wisdom or Charisma or something. I don't remember. One of them. And this place. We want to talk to the Metale droid.
This is private property. By what authority are you trespassing on this estate?
Sorry, I'll be going.
Immediately.
Oh. Can I not do this yet? Interesting. Do I have to... That's very odd. I thought I could do this already. Well, apparently I can't do this yet. I thought I could start this quest already. Maybe I need to go talk to him again at the Jedi Enclave? Alright. And we'll go talk to some of the people back by the Jedi Enclave on our way back there. We'll just wrap it up by going back to the Jedi Enclave then and setting ourselves up for next time. That is fine. We did kill the Mandalorian leader, which should make that John guy real happy. Maybe not in the most healthy way possible, but it should make him happy. Hello, flying manta ray. How are you? I wish these existed in our world, like flying versions. Those are really cool looking. Alright, John.
Have you found the Mandalorian raiders yet?
I have. I fought and killed their leader.
Thank you, young master. My daughter can now, I think, rest in peace. Here is the reward I promised you.
No, you don't need to reward me. I didn't ask for one.
No, please take it. This pitiful amount will never be enough for what you have done for me. Again, I thank you. I will be sure to tell the council of your great deed.
Oh, well, I guess I get the reward anyway. Thank you. 1,000 credits. That's actually really, really nice. Okay. Guess I shouldn't complain too much. Also, it looks like the other guy found his way on. Ethan Phillips' character. Let's see what else we got around here. Let's pop into the Enclave. I know I found... what's his name? Alan Matale? Up in the side room over here? Last time we were in town? This is the guy that wants to cheat me at cards. Who the hell are you? Oh, it's Elise.
I took the loss of my droid much too hard.
Oh, this is good.
I feel I must apologize.
Oh, no need. I'm just glad you didn't jump off a bridge.
But I must. I was much too attached to my droid. It was all that was left of my husband, you see. Maybe I thought that through the droid, my husband could live again, be with me still. But I went too far. I could not see what was missing in living a normal life. Fortunately, in my grief, I returned here and ran into Sampt, an absolutely fascinating man.
I don't think I've ever seen this dialogue before. Well, this is fascinating. Seems quite nice, sure. I don't know that. I haven't talked to him.
Sampt and I got to talking, and, well, we have a lot in common. I think we'll be seeing more of each other. It's funny how things work out in the end. Maybe there is such a thing as fate, after all. But I think we should be going now. We have so much more to talk about. I just wanted to thank you for what you've done for me, and what you tried to do. Goodbye, and thank you.
No kidding. Can I talk to him? Nope. Stamped. Alright. Alan?
Why are you bothering me? I'm here to speak with the council, not some servant. Please leave, or I shall be forced to tell the council of your rude behavior.
Okay, he's still not talking. Alright. Guess we're not starting that quest yet. I did not know that there was a follow-up to Elise's quest there. That's really cool. Oh, and Juhani's here. Let's talk to her. Hello, Juhani.
I must give you my thanks. Because of you, I am once again welcome within the Jedi Order.
Yeah, have you spoken to the council?
I have spoken to the council, and they have helped me see the truth. The truth about myself, and the truth of my actions. Quatra's injuries were not so severe as I first believed. I was foolish to believe I could harm a master such as she with my clumsy efforts. The fierce confrontation between us was nothing more than part of my training. Quatra wanted me to understand the threat of the dark side, to see how easy it was to fall from the path of light.
So where's Quatra now?
After our last battle, Quatra had nothing left to teach me. I needed time alone to explore the turmoil of my own spirit. Only then was I ready to follow a guide. You. Back to the light. When I left, Quatra knew her work with me was done. There are other disciples who need training throughout the galaxy, and she could not stay to see if I passed this most difficult trial. With your help, I have passed this difficult trial. The Council now feels I am ready to continue with my training, though they have asked me to wait here for the time being.
Given another chance to prove yourself, I hope you use it well.
I do not know what the Council has in store for me, but I will trust in the Force, in the way of the Jedi to help me through whatever is to come.
Neat. Alright. Also, can I just say, I really like the model for Zelbar. Like, the Wookiees in this game actually look really good. For, like, you know, in comparison to all the other character models, this looks like a reasonable approximation of what I think a Wookiee should look like. Like, I would say this character model right here looks better than the Wookiees in Jedi Fallen Order. Admittedly, the Wookiees in Jedi Fallen Order look like walking spaghetti monsters, but like this isn't bad for the fur technology they had available to them in 2000 and whatever the heck this was, 2002, something like that. Not bad, not bad at all. Lightsabers. No, I don't want to make a red lightsaber. Can I? We can start putting that in there. Fine. What do we got, guys? Look, I win. I did everything.
Greetings, young apprentice. Have you come seeking knowledge of the past? As chronicler of the...
No, I don't need any knowledge of the past. 2003? Yeah, see, that's somewhere right around there. It was right around whenever episode 2 came out. Do I go talk to Zar? Oh. Okay, Zar. I did it.
You have done well, my pupil. The ancient grove has been purified, and Juhani's journey down the dark path has been halted. Because of you, she walks once more in the light. But though she was saved, do not dismiss what happened to her. Juhani is both dedicated and true to the ideals of the Order, yet she was still vulnerable to the dark side, as are we all. She struck her master in anger during her training and injured her greatly. But it was Quatra's choice to test Juhani this way, and it seems to have made its point. Juhani has been redeemed, and you have passed your final test. Congratulations, apprentice. Or should I say, congratulations, Padawan. You have proven yourself worthy of joining the Jedi. Let me be the first to welcome you as a full-fledged member of our Order.
We did it! We're a Jedi! That's worth 800 XP in these parts. Also, I got an item, apparently. What did I get? Item? Vibro double blade? I don't think they gave me that. Crystals... I got some. More crystals. Oh! I got a pair of Jedi robes. That's actually kind of cool. Yeah, that makes total sense. Because you are now a Jedi, you get Jedi robes. Oh! Oh. So Jedi robes have a really, really high max dexterity bonus, which we saw on Bastila. If you're using a lightsaber, you can add your dex bonus to your attack, even without finesse. So you could, theoretically, build a Jedi build that just went for, like, all the dex in the universe. I mean, plus 8 is like, what, 26 dex? That'd be a lot of dex. And you'd get to add your bonus in, so you'd still have like a 9 defense. Like, it's about the same bonus you'd be getting off of a like high-end combat armor, even on just the basic Jedi robe, and still have access to your force powers. And you'd still be able to hit pretty reliably with a lightsaber. The only thing you'd be losing out on would be, like, right now I'm getting a 5 damage bonus flat off my strength. If you go the route that I was just talking about, you'd be putting more points into dex. So you wouldn't have as high of a damage modifier. You could arguably, like, knock down the charisma a little bit, or the con a little bit. Like, you could take like 2 points out of each of these, bring them down to 12s, and pump up your strength pretty high too, and be sitting at like a 14 strength, 20 dex at this point, and be in pretty darn good shape. That would be a 6 defense build with the exact same chance to hit that I have right now. Tiny bit less damage, but full access to all your force powers. Yeah, that wouldn't be a terrible build. Alright, journal. Where are we at here? Jedi Council. They want to tell me about the bigger picture and what I must do. Alright, this is probably the last thing we're going to do here. I'm going to talk to the Jedi Council, and then we will call it a part here for today.
If you have questions, you should direct them toward the Jedi Council members.
Sure.
If you have questions,
I just tried to.
Your training is now complete, Padawan. And perhaps now it is time we dealt with the matter of the dream you and Bastila shared. When we heard of the ruins in your dreams, Master Dorak recognized it as one of a series of ancient structures here on Dantooine. This one in particular lies to the east of this enclave. We sent a Jedi to investigate, but he has not returned. Perhaps sending him in the first place was a mistake. The Force is guiding you through your visions. It may be that exploring the ruins is a task tied to your destiny. That is why the Council has now decided you should be the one to investigate this. The secrets to stopping Malak may be hidden within those ruins. You must investigate them and find what Revan and Malak were looking for.
Oh, Revan and Malak were looking for? Alright, you got it. So... let's see what, what happened to the Jedi who went to investigate?
We do not know. That is one of the things you must investigate. We fear the worst. Is there anything else you want to know?
Got it. What can you tell me about Bastila? Yeah.
Bastila will be a great Jedi someday. Even among the Masters and the Council, it is rare to find one so skilled in the art of battle meditation. Bastila was there when Revan was slain. Did you know that?
I did know that. Yeah, I mean, Karth mentioned something about it, and so did Zorak.
Bastila herself does not like to talk about it. She was accompanying the strike team that confronted Revan when the Dark Lord was destroyed. Her role in the death of such a promising young Jedi as Revan upset her greatly. But Bastila knew she had to set her personal feelings aside for the sake of the galaxy and the Republic. The Force is strong with her now. And without her skill in battle meditation, we would have lost this war long ago. The way ahead will be difficult for young Bastila. And for you. But you must draw strength from each other. May the Force be with you.
Got it. Okay, Bastila apparently has to come with me for this. Yeah, we're not able to remove her from the party. That is fine. I want a ranged party member, and you know what? Gotta be T3, doesn't it? Like, T3's dual-wield ranged. He's got really good skills. Bastila's skills are terrible. Yeah, we'll go with T3. Bring the robot.
I demand justice! The Sandral family is a blight upon Dantooine. They must be punished.
The Council will look into this matter, Mr. Matale. You must be patient. Your accusations have no proof, and we do not want you stirring up trouble with the Sandrals if there is some mistake.
Mistake? My son Shen is missing. How can there be any doubt the Sandrals are to blame?
There are other possible explanations for your son's disappearance.
Ah, you Jedi are good for nothing but talk. I shall only wait so long before I take action on my own.
As dangerous as the threat from Darth Malak and the Sith may be, we Jedi cannot simply abandon our other responsibilities. The Council has promised Alan Matale we will look into his son's disappearance. Should you have time, Padawan, you may want to investigate this matter.
Alright, yeah, I can look into that.
If Shen Matale is not returned to his father, it may ignite a savage and bloody feud between the Matale.
Also, I recognize his voice, Alan Matale's voice.
Your study and training are important, of course, but the Jedi are not a cloistered order. Our influence and teachings must spread beyond the walls of our academies.
It is in the real world that we truly prove ourselves worthy of the title Jedi. You would do well to remember this, young Padawan.
the task has its own importance. It may also serve to divert our minds for a short time, something which carries its own rewards.
Oh, he's been in a million things. I was going to try to look him up real quick and see if I could find where I knew him from. I do not have the time to look through his entire filmography right now because he's been in a million things since the mid-80s. So, yes, I am sure I recognize him from many places. Norman Osborn. 3 different animated series, apparently. That's fun. Can I get his complete filmography, please? So I can see if I recognize where it is I specifically know that voice from. No, we're not going to load that? Alright, that's fine. Neil Ross. I definitely know him from somewhere. Anyways, we're going to call it a part there for now. When we come back next time, we will head out and level up Bastila, and then head on out and figure out what's going on with Shen Matale, who appears to have gone missing, and head into the ruins to see if we can find what happened to the Jedi that were sent there, and what it is that Revan and Malak found when they were looking through that. I'm going to go ahead and save here for now. And seeing as I've got 6 of us here, I'm actually going to see if I can find someone who's streaming this with like a low viewer count and just do a raid, send people over, just to try and help out somebody with a low view count, because it's always nice when it happens to me. So give me just a moment here to get this set up to the ending soon screen so that I can save this. Exit the game and then jump into the control panel and figure out what I need to do to start a raid here, because I've actually never bothered learning how to do that. So we're going to learn how to do that live as we go. Should be under... Oh, mute that. Should be under this. Apologies for the double audio there you're going to hear in just a second. Oh, maybe you won't, because I have the audio on the thing turned off. We're fine. We are learning. It is, I am going to assume, if I go under Creator Dashboard and Stream Manager, there is probably, yes, a Raid Channel button. I type in Knights. Can I view this? Oh, that doesn't work. Alright, try another version of this. We're just going to go to the main Twitch page, search for Knights of the Old Republic, and see who we got and who's doing this. We got somebody doing KOTOR 2. Got somebody doing Old Republic Online. Yeah, let's try this one here. Yeah, we got 2 other people right now that are playing through, and they're both doing, yeah, they're both sitting on 1 viewer apiece. So we're going to pick this one here, send you guys on over this way. Let you all check something out. We got somebody doing a speed run and somebody doing a casual playthrough. Does anybody have any preferences between a speed run and a casual playthrough? I have no idea what the heck a speed run looks like in KOTOR. That could be pretty wild. Casual? All right, casual it is. We will send you guys over that way. This is this. Can I just click a button here to do this? No? Alright, fine. I will do this the manual way. I believe all I've got to do is if I go into my own chat and type in /raid this person's name, Twitch raid command, it should send you all on over here. Yeah. Alright, so thank you all for joining. I'm going to send you guys over on the raid in just a second here. Appreciate you all being around to watch. And I will be back tomorrow night with the rest of Dantooine, which shouldn't take that long. And we can start out heading on to some other planets and start picking up some other party members and stuff. I kind of want to go and snag the party member available at the beginning of Tatooine as soon as possible, and then we might go do some other planets first. I think I might try to do like Kashyyyk first. Tends to be a pretty good one, but yeah. Network error, please try again. Oh god, are we good? Alright, we're good. But yeah, I'm going to send you guys on the raid. Thank you all for joining. If you want to come back tomorrow, I will see you then. And catch you around, have a good one, and raid incoming in a second. If we do this, does this work? Hopefully this is working.